No, it's not. What's up, chat? We are just hanging out for the moment because we're waiting on a ad hoc to arrive. He shouldn't be too far away, hopefully.
We're just throwing... Don't worry about it. We're throwing him in a well, aren't we? That's what we planned.
No one planned anything. That's just what you wanted to do because you're an asshole.
I'm gonna stuff him in my backpack. Maybe I can stuff him in my backpack and he can hide back there.
you probably could actually. To be fair, I mean,
we used to have a player that did that, eh, Sean?
Yes, we did, and he was a goblin. So
yep,
and he was an
fighter. Orc barbarian used to carry the
that's
goblin
right.
around in his backpack.
It was Bartok and what was the orc warrior's name? I forget his name now.
I can't remember his name.
I remember the character's name.
It was a good idea. The
it was
lazy.
He was a klepto too, so he stole everything
and put it in his backpack,
which was hilarious. I still do remember that. It was Dwayne's character, the goblin.
Yeah, correct.
He's one that almost got us all killed in the first couple of 3 episodes by setting something on fire, if I remember correctly.
It was a dry maize field.
That's right.
And you were in the middle of it.
Correct. Lots of fun.
Why did he set it on fire while you guys were in the middle
because
of it?
Because he was a pyromaniac klepto.
I'm sure there was baddies in there, and he was like,
okay.
I think there were other goblins close or in the field or something. There was definitely enemies there. But he was definitely a pyro klepto. A very interesting mix. It's still fun though. A lot of fun. What haven't I opened? Oh, Roll20 now. So guys, welcome to another Wednesday Dur session. Crew. As I said, ad hoc. Hopefully we'll be here sometime soon. We'll give him another 10 minutes or so. If he hasn't turned up, we'll get started. He had a staff meeting at work. Reckoned it would run about 5. I don't know how far away from work he lives. So hopefully he'll be relatively soon-ish. Up. General music running. Welcome, chat. So, last week, guys, interesting session with the exploding cart after the exploding tower. A couple of interesting effects from player unconsciousness near-death experiences. So hopefully we'll see a bit more. Well, not hopefully we'll see a bit more of that, but that could be interesting in the future. So I think where did you guys get to? So you got to the winery, you were taken into the forest by a hooded figure, and that's pretty much where we'll pick up this week.
And Emilia was hitting on a 15-year-old boy.
Does anyone remember how old Emilia is?
18?
I thought 17.
So
she's an ancient, mysterious, dark woman who looks like a small girl.
So when you say 18, I mean 18 and 15, there's not much difference there. So not really that not that strange.
Not as strange as her and Carlos.
Exactly.
Back in medieval,
or her and Adok, or her and Adok. That'd even stranger
when you
still.
say 15 and 13 or 15 and 12.
Yeah, that's a little different. Yeah.
Actually, no, it's not. In that age, that's what it was.
Well, in those days, yeah, a lot of girls were married off at sort of 12, 13, 14. In medieval times. Or burned at the stake.
Yeah, and at the same time, they normally died when they were about 30, 40. So
exactly, all relative. So our Vampire Masquerade stuff is coming along quite nicely. As far as I'm aware, all of our main players now have semi-complete character sheets. We have names and clans, and we have a basic story hook all underway. it's all coming together nicely. So we should be fairly well prepared to head into the Vampire Masquerade in a week or two-ish after finishing the mini campaign. So it's all looking pretty good. Still got to catch up with Magic to see whether he is all cool with the idea I put to him the other week. He seemed pretty keen, so we just got to pin that down so we can get that organised as well. But apart from that, I think we're looking pretty good. So, Mr. Storyteller, how is the story side of things coming from your perspective?
I'm fine. Everything's
Good?
good. Yeah,
All
I
on
don't want
track?
to give away too much. I think
No.
I'm on track.
Just as in prep wise.
Storyteller probably completed it the first day we thought about it.
The concept would have been there,
No.
I guess.
I definitely don't write stories until I know everyone's happy to go, and I try not to write a story as opposed to writing a game, because you can fall into the trap, and I've done it in the past, you can fall into the trap of writing way too much ahead of time. Yeah, you really only need bullet points, and that's what I did. I did bullet points, and then we all agreed on one, and it worked.
It's
Except we do. I was reading through the book, and we also have to do a coterie sheet.
Yep.
So we might as well do that during one of the session 0 point something.
there will be a number of
relationships,
yeah. There will be a number of early pre-session 1 sessions where we will be getting together to discuss all that type of stuff, because obviously we need Chronicle tenants as well. Got a Chronicle name, so that's a start. So we've got Blood and Belief as a Chronicle name. We need Chronicle tenants, obviously the coterie sheet and all that sort of stuff as well.
A lore sheet, apparently.
A lore sheet?
A lore sheet, yeah.
Covering what laws? As in, like, history type lore? Or
basically the history
okay.
of where we are.
Yeah, a lot of that will be in the wiki too.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing. That one's more up to Baz. He kind of does that lore sheet, and then we get a copy of it so we understand, like,
the base histories,
the basis of where we are, when we are.
Makes sense.
What's
So
going
I'm on that already. I don't call it a lore sheet. I call it like a basic story background. But yeah, so I've got something underway, and I am using the wiki to sort of help it, because it saves work on my end. If it's already been done for me, why work harder?
Well, at the same time, it will help, because the great thing about picking a city that has information on it, and that's not completely made up, it's all there. Just use the history,
right.
you know.
So I'm going to give a brief history on where we are. Like, it'll be set as in it's today, and then I'll just give a brief history on how the prince in position got to where he was, and sort of what the area's been doing, who owns what areas and stuff.
Cool.
Should be good. Should be hopefully enough information for you guys. But we'll talk about that in one of our 0.00 sessions as well, and just make sure I've got enough information for you guys, because you sort of, I know what I would be wanting to give, but you guys might want more than what I'm thinking. So just have to let me know.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's what our earlier sessions will be, to get together and flesh out a lot of that sort of stuff, which I don't think will take long. I mean, now a lot of the harder work is done with the character sheet, because character creation is definitely a lot more involved than D&D character creation. So it's been a bit of a process.
Yeah, I can do a D&D character in 1 hour. It took me 6 days to do the vampire one.
Oh, dude! I mean, I can hash out a D&D character in minutes. It's not difficult.
Yeah, like in 1 hour, I can go from like the initial what the hell do I want to have, to make the character, then do a backstory, then go to like Hero Forge and make the character look the way I wanted him to look.
Is that using Beyond?
Yeah, using D&D Beyond, or even using character sheet. You know,
because even in a character sheet, an hour is about average if you're working out of the book, which is what I used to find. But D&D Beyond's definitely streamlined that, so you can now go to, like you say, Hero Forge and make your characters. So
yeah.
How you going with yours, Janti?
I'm done. Yeah. I think I'm done.
Decided on a character. Well, I hope so, because you give me a name and a clan now. So once that nameplate's done, man, that's it.
The good thing is it's because it's the first time playing. I think there's so many cool things. I mean, I looked at it and went, man, how would you decide? And I think a few of us have been through that a couple of times. I
think even I did, and I'm normally pretty decisive when I set my mind to a character or a character type. I'm normally pretty quick to build it. But even I sort of ummed and ahed about clan and character type for a good week before I even settled on anything.
Well, see, the skills, that took 2 days, because I'd read through all the skills and go, okay, what would be his skills? You know, like what would he be actually good at? And then you go, okay, this is that. Okay, so I'll put. Oh no, I can't put 3 points there because I've already done these other 2 that have got 3 points. Oh crap! That'll have to be a 2-pointer.
It definitely took a bit, but I think we all did right.
Like that's the thing. Like you sit there and just like, it's really simple. Like they've laid it out really simple. You know, this is for your stats. This is what you get, and for your skills, this is what you get. But then if you're trying to actually build your character to be the way with the skills that he or she would have had growing up, and then dying and still learning. You're still learning shit.
Exactly.
That's the kicker. And like, it's not like you're dead and then that's your skills. No, it's you're dead and you're still learning.
Yo, Rev,
shit.
Magic, what's up?
So it took ages. And then you like I nutted it out and I'm sitting there going, oh yeah, cool. And then I flick through the book and I go, oh crap. And it's like, okay, now I've got to change this, and this. Oh crap! Now I've got to. Talking
VTM builds, Magic. Speaking of VTM, Mr. Magic, have you come to a decision on what we discussed the other day, sir? If so, please let us know, because we are definitely keen to have you on board.
But secretly, just DM Sean.
Yes, DM me with your decision, sir. So that we can get a few things organised. Because once we got everything under control in that aspect, we obviously will need to get together with Baz in Discord at some point and go over the finer details. Grim, what's up? But anywho, I think we've delayed about long enough. Hopefully Cam will be here sometime soon. But we will start without him. We will just say that Adok is being a little obnoxious and antisocial and won't be saying a whole lot. He'll follow the group at this point.
No, we gagged him and left his carrying him underneath.
No, I'm stuffing him in my bag.
Yeah, I think Zadriel's going to pick him up, gag him, and put him in her pack.
It'll be like that. It'll be like the scene in Star Wars where like Yoda's on Luke's back, right? He's just going to grip me on behind. I'm just going to be doing flips and jumps and climbing ropes and shit.
Montage. Anywho, so we will get into it while we're waiting for Adok to return. But anywho, so last you guys left off, you had decided to spend the night in the ruins of this tower that you had inadvertently destroyed. Adok, using his little cannon to move the larger portions of rubble. Eventually, the rest of you set yourselves up for an evening of rest by moving the smaller parts, creating a space big enough for the six of you to rest. It was decided on that a round of watches was to be taken through the course of the evening. A small fire was built, and you attempted to rest. During the evening, during Skaith's watch, as it turned out, a child could be heard whimpering and softly crying in the distance. After hearing it a couple of times, Skaithis decides to wake Zadriel, and in turn, eventually you wake your entire group. As the wolves seem closer than ever, and this sound of an infant has become a little disturbing. As you eventually, Zadriel and Skathis, move forward looking for the child, and the rest of you position yourselves defensively back at the ruins of the tower. As you reach the cart, however, Zadriel, thinking, well, there's a possibility of combat here, decides to cast a heal on Skathis. Unbeknownst to her, her near-death experience has had a strange effect, and as she releases the healing spell, a very audible humming sound accompanies it. And with that, the sound of growls and the sound of wolves close by, and then the appearance of several pairs of eyes in the trees across the way, prompts Zadriel to invoke her divine energy. Her wings emerge, and she lifts her and Skathis to semi-safety on the top of this small carriage. In doing so, the sound of clinking glass could be heard from the interior of this carriage. Eventually, Karnos and Emilia make their way towards where Zadriel and Skathis are in a bid to aid them in a potential retreat or aid them in a battle. The former was decided on, and Zadriel and Skathis then jump down and head back towards the tower, where you all retreat back to a semi-defensible position. The sounds of wolves could be heard for several hours surrounding the tower, but no sign of, no actual physical sighting of the wolves could be seen. So it was ultimately determined that this was not real, it was possibly an illusion. With all of you passing your wisdom saves for the evening, you all managed to sleep with this sound carrying on for several hours. The next morning you prepared to continue your journey, but decided to check out this cart once again, with Karnos initially attempting to break the door down with his axe, a couple of blows, cracking it, and then the group decided, well, maybe we should just pick the lock. Fibble then repairs the damage done by Karnos, attempts to pick the lock but fails. Adok also tries but also fails. Adok inspects the exterior of this carriage, but could not find any other entry point with his inspections. Eventually, Zadriel, taking her clockwork warhammer and attempting the same entry as Karnos. However, as the door breaks inward, tripping a very elaborate booby trap of several vials of alchemist fire that break on impact, causing a large explosion, sending fire across pretty much all of you. Shards of wood and that scattered about. Karnos is projected backwards a number of feet and is rendered unconscious. Eventually, Adok does find a Karnos still on fire, manages to give him a aid with a healing potion, and you manage to put yourselves out. And after a bit more inspection, you do find a scrap of paper, which you got in Skype, which was seeming an excerpt from possibly a diary of some sorts. Once semi-recovered from this encounter, you decided maybe we should get back on track and head to the winery and find out what's happening with the wine. Eventually, you make your way up the long, narrow driveway towards the Wizards of Wine winery. As you approach, however, a cloaked figure stands beckoning you to come forward. You do so and are greeted with an elderly gentleman who insists on you following him further into the forest. Weary, but not sensing any danger, you do so. Eventually come to a small camp, and at this camp is where he introduces himself as Devian Martikov and members of his family. Adrian, smallest son, Adrian's wife, and he explains to you that some strange men and women and some strange creatures have overrun the winery, killing much of the staff, and has asked for your assistance. Agreeing, and with a little bit of help from Divine with a heal, and with Adrian leading you towards the front of the winery, where you can clearly see the loading bay and the front of this building. He casts Pass Without a Trace to aid your entry into the building. And this is where we rejoin you now as you are about to make your advance on the building. The creatures, these twig leafy creatures that you have seen coming up the road, have now gone around the building and have exited and out of sight behind the winery. So now is your opportunity to move forward. So just to refresh your memories on the building, if it will come up, come on. It's going to be a bitch. 1 second, guys. Why is it not working? It's got to find... Why is that not working now? Interesting. I know why, because of that. There we go. I got it. Damn computer wrecking D&D. Right, so you are off to the sort of upper right of this map, and you can see the front of the loading bay. And you're in a position now you can now move across, if you will. So Adrian says, quickly, please follow. And he leads the way and starts to quickly but slowly. So he moves crouched and in a steady pace, but as quiet as possible, directly across the loading bay. Do you follow?
Yes. I stick a dog in my backpack.
Yeah, Adok seems a little weird at the moment. He's not very talkative. He seems worried, and seems quite happy to climb up and hitch a ride at this point. So I need you all to roll a stealth checks, please. And you will all get a +10 to your stealth checks as well.
So plus 10 to stealth check, so nat 20, so 23, so 33. I'm
Nice.
invisible.
Scathus is very, very quiet indeed with a natural 20.
I rolled at disadvantage, which
You do,
is
yes.
5 plus 10 for 15.
15, that's still not bad. Carnos at disadvantage as well.
I too rolled a disadvantage. The first one was a 19 for a 23 to make a 33, but the second one was a 19 for a 23
Nice.
to make a 33.
Well done. Carnos seems to have found a knack for moving quietly with his armor, and holds his breastplate as he moves, and probably the most, because you're wearing chainmail, aren't you?
Just chain, no plate, yeah.
Just chain, no plate. So you're probably just holding your chest and that, just moving in a way.
Like a sniper.
Gets a bit blue by the time he gets to the building, but definitely gets across there. Emilia, yours please.
14.
14. So Emilia, a little, probably breathing a little heavy, a little anxious, but still managed to do okay. Philstep.
24.
24.
At disadvantage.
Can I get... actually, I will roll for... Adok. Actually, Adok won't need to roll. He's with... inside the pack, so we won't worry about him. So, you managed to scoot across...
Back in a sec.
No worries. You managed to scoot across the sort of graveled area in front of this building. A little bit of noise from the gravel, but as far as you know, you got to cross there pretty much without being seen. As you step up onto the wooden platform that is the loading dock, you notice two doorways directly across from you, which are these two doorways down here at the bottom left of the loading dock. They are both closed. You're not entirely sure which one goes where, but as it turns out, Adrian sort of says to you, and as he, when I bring up my picture, which is when my computer crashed, it left me, so I have to bring up this again. He says to you, oh, that door there will lead you into the main building. Find out which door that actually is. The maps. Was it? So he says the immediate door to the right, the one on the flat wall on the left-hand side of that map, the map that I was showing you before. So this door here, this first door, he says that one will lead you into the vat room. The other door, which is on the right next to it, will lead you into a small hall, which will lead you into a stairway which descends top to bottom of this building. So you can access all levels. I must depart, however. I am no warrior, and I do not wish to die this day.
Thank you, Adrian.
Good luck. And he makes his exit. So you lose that plus 10 on further stealth checks. But for all intents and purposes, you are reasonably well hidden. And it is now your decision on where you go.
Are we clearing out the entire winery, or do we want to just start at the bottom and go up?
It's a good tactical bet, Zadriel, to start at the ground and go up.
I'll just read this quickly.
We just need to kill 5 people in.
You're not sure how many people are there. You've been told about 5, but you're not 100% sure how many are there. But parked in this loading dock is a wagon with 3 barrels set in braces on a bed. A raised wooden walkway runs along the west, south, and eastern walls. Through a hole in the ceiling, you see a wooden arm of a loading crane and ropes and hooks dangling from it. So you can see through the upper floor above you. So you definitely know it's definitely an upper floor, and you've been told that the stairwell leads you both upper and lower. So which direction are you going to go?
We are supposed to find a crystal as well, I think. So maybe we go... Well, there's only 1 floor above us, right? And that's it?
Seems that way, yes.
Maybe we check the top quickly so there's no scouts. There could be windows up there or something.
Yeah, top floor. Kill whatever's there. See if there's windows. I like that idea.
I will go behind because I am very noisy.
So, are you agreed that you're going to head into the hallway which will lead you to the stairwell from the loading dock?
Yeah, sounds like the best plan.
Yes.
Agreed.
Can I get a marching order, please, as you walk towards this door? The door is unlocked. You swing it open, and what you do indeed see is a small hallway. Do I have the small hallway on my maps?
Zadriel, I'm not very good at stealth either, but if I put my shield forward and lead the way, would you be happy with that?
Yeah, I can go behind you with my shield too.
I do not have this particular hallway, but what I will show you is the loading dock above, which is basically the same length, so that your doorway is across where the wall is here, and it's just a short hall. There is another door which looks like it might lead into the vat room, which is what Adrian told you, and then it's a spiral staircase going. You can go up or down on the spiral staircase. So it's about 15 feet long.
So wait a minute. Does that mean we're going down first because we want to go from the lowest up?
I thought we were going up first.
Yeah, they discussed going up and then starting at the top instead of down then up.
Oh, okay. Up and down.
Yeah.
Go down. Go up. Right.
So what is your decision? Are you going to proceed to the upper floor?
Yeah.
Apparently, we're going to clear it from top to bottom.
Okie dokie then. So
I'll take lead.
Skaters takes the lead. Who's going second?
Karnos will be right behind with his axe and shield out, ready to defend Scapus if need be.
Skatus, Karnos. Who is next after that?
I will go.
So Adok and Zadriel following up. The rear would be Emilia then. As you move forward, we'll keep our current stealth checks at this point. The door leading on your right as you pass down the short hallway is closed. You can't really hear. Actually, I'll get everyone to roll a perception check as well, just to see what you hear as you move forward. Now that you're the interior of this room, this building. Pretty good ones there. Skatus, Fiddlestib, even Karnos, Zadriel and Emilia, probably not so much. You don't really hear much. You do hear very faint murmuring coming from inside the room next to you. It sounds kind of like muffled voices. You really can't tell. Even with the 18 and 19, it's kind of hard to tell. There is sounds of dripping. There's the smell of wine is very strong in this building. Obviously, it's a winery. But you've got all manner of different weird sounds coming from inside the building. It's empty, but it seems full. The dripping of what seems like could be water or wine. You're not 100% sure. But you make your way slowly and quietly up the spiral staircase. At this point, whatever's possibly in here doesn't seem like it's detected you at this point. As you reach the upper level of this area, which leads you to another short hallway as you reach the top of the staircase. Looking down this hallway, you can see into a large open area, a 20-foot square hole in the ceiling of on the floor of this room, and a large wooden crane, which you spied from the opposite side earlier as you entered the building. This is obviously where barrels are lowered into the loading bay and for transportation. There is nothing on the crane at the moment. It is empty and it is stationary. Across behind the crane you see two small windows, which are both closed, and on the right hand side also a couple of small windows. They all appear to be closed. Again, the glass is mottled glass. It's not 100% clear. You can make out shapes on the other side, but it's more like it's not modern glass. It's definitely more mottled, and you would see weird shapes. You'd be able to make out the shape of people on the outside of the building, but it'd be distorted with the way the mottling is. You do, however, see two single doors on your left-hand wall as you move forward. But loading dock. Right, just in case information I need to give you. 16. So, this room is a wooden floor with a 10-foot square, cut into the middle of it. Looming over the hole is a wooden winch. Perched atop is a man with wild hair, rotted teeth, and skin painted red with blood. He waves a gnarled staff made from blackened branch and baubles at you. The only one that would understand him would be Emilia, as you do speak Druidic. But even then, it's almost garbled. And every now and then you hear the word, "Crystal is ours, mine, not yours," and there's a garbled mess through this rotten teeth and just scraggly hair. What are you doing?
Was that directed at us?
He's sort of. It's kind of hard to tell because the hair's down in his face. Kind of hard to tell whether he's looking at you, past you, whether he's trying to talk to you, or just general babbling.
Hello, do you speak common? Zadriel, you are?
What do you want? Why are you here? Go away!
Well, why are you? Is any bad there? No. Why are you here?
I'm not here.
Oh. Well,
and he scuttles up to the end of the, right on the end of the crane, just looking at you. You see he's gripping that staff and he starts to raise it a little. Not overly aggressive, but...
People, he talks like your family. You want to talk to him?
All right.
What? What do you say?
Do any of us have a crystal at all? Like any just like crystals at all? No, but okay. People, you got something shiny in there?
No.
Nature bows to my every whim. I have the vampire staff. Ah! And then
Okay.
he drops down the hole through the loading bay onto the... You hear him hit the wagon below.
That guy's fucking nuts.
Maybe next time, Fibble, you say, hey, we're here to free the wine. You guys leave and we'll just keep the wine. Maybe they'll back out, take the crystal and go, right?
Well, since you came up with the bloody idea, why don't you say it?
Oh, I'll let speaking.
What you do hear now is you hear him hit the wagon below you. Thud. You hear him scuttle off the wagon. You hear him muttering to himself again, and that same phrase you hear this time in Druidic, Emilia, is that, yeah, nature bows to my every whim, for I have the vampire staff. And you hear, what you guys hear from below you now is the scraping of branches and the rustling of leaves coming quite loudly from below you.
I think he's doing something.
Yeah, I think you just set off the alarm.
Well, we have some sort of advantage here. From my distinct heroic ability, we can congest anything that comes up the stairwell in the corridor that we are standing in. Maybe we should move to better positions around the room and block off access roads.
And what about that hole?
We have the higher ground. If they come up the hole, we can chop them back down, I believe.
Defensive defensive positions it is.
Wait a minute. Now, there's a crane, so I'm assuming that there's no guardrail around?
There is no guardrail, no.
So we can look directly down.
You can.
Well, what do we see when we look directly down?
You see the wagon, of course. You no longer see the individual that dropped down. He's definitely out of sight somewhere. The rustling of leaves and the scraping of twigs definitely coming from below you. Roll a perception check to see what you can see. For anyone who's doing the same.
17.
I definitely wouldn't be looking down.
Jason's with a 7. Zadriel with a 2.
Apparently I'm scared of heights.
So is Emilia by the look of it.
Carlos is looking at the winch while these guys are all trying to see what they can see.
So,
like,
Fibblesub, as you, being the shorter of the group, you probably see more anyway. You sort of peer around, and what you can see every now and again, what looks like a tree branch or a leaf sort of peer around the corner out more towards the front of the building. and then it sort of disappears, and then comes back and disappears. Then you see 2, then 3, and then you hear the scraping. It sounds like the scraping's on the exterior of the building. It doesn't look like anyone's coming across the loading bay, your current position.
Okay, now we've got the high ground and blah, blah, blah. What the hell's in those rooms over there?
Have a look if you want.
Yeah. Go up to one of the doors and open it up and see what's in there.
Open the door. Have a look. Pick the door, upper or lower door on that map.
Yeah, we'll go upper.
So the upper door leads into a corridor by the looks of it. You crack it open, it's not locked, and it's about 20 feet long with a single door at the opposite end.
Okay, what's the lower one?
Once again, you crack open the lower door, and you are looking into what looks like the upper portion of a vat room, like these large wooden vats. As you sort of peer through, you've got a stairwell leading down to your left, and it looks like there's a catwalk of sorts leading around, which has little platforms going out over top of these 4 large vats, which you would only assume that it is the Wizards of Wine winery, the wine itself.
People, you see anything down there?
Well, this door leads to the vat room, I'm assuming, and the other one leads down to a hallway with another door. So, do we want to go that way? Because this one leads, there's a staircase up from the vat room, so that's now 2 areas that they can get to us from. Which means now we have to split our forces. Do we want to try to find a better defensible spot? Carnos,
Well, if we can barricade these doors, we have a winch, right? There's barrels on that trailer down there. We could winch up a barrel, put it in front of the doorway. Because this is an alright position. I'm thinking we can throw things down the hole. Could probably winch up a barrel and drop it on people.
DM, does the door open into the area that we're in, or into the...
It opens into the opposite area, so it opens away from you.
Okay, so we couldn't...
So Fiddlestep, as you've opened that second door, looking into you can only assume is some sort of a vat, maybe fermenting vats or something like that. The smell of wine is strong in this room, like fermenting wine. It is a kind of a 2-story chamber which is dominated by 4 enormous wooden casks, each one about 8 feet wide and around 12 feet tall. Wooden staircase at the centre of the room climbs to a 10-foot high wooden balcony that clings to the south wall. Has 4 windows set into it at balcony level. Stacked against the wall underneath the balcony are old empty barrels. From what you can tell, it looks like there's writing burnt into the side, and from where you currently are, you can't really see it. The balcony climbs another 5 feet as it continues along the west and east walls, ending at doors leading to what looks like the winery's upper levels. Underneath these balconies are several doors, some of which are open. Beneath the sloping roofs stretch thick rafters upon which scores of ravens have quietly gathered. You've probably got about two dozen ravens just sitting in the rafters above you.
Do you guys see the ravens? I got a nat 1 on my perception.
There's ravens up there on the balcony.
Oh, thank you, people. I would like to cast Speak with Animals.
Well done. Right, so we've cast Speak with Animals.
And Adolf's just woken up and we've untied him and taken him out of the backpack.
No, it's in my backpack.
Adolf, you were a little bit worried about going into the winery, and Zadriel offered to give you a piggyback ride. So you have climbed up and are now sitting in the top of Zadriel's pack at this moment.
Think Yoda.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've got.
So, as you peer into this room...
Sorry, I'm late, by the way.
Good, man. So as you're peering into this room, on the top of this room, you have seen these two dozen or so ravens just sitting in the rafters. And Zadriel, you're preparing to cast Speak with Animals.
Yeah, I cast it and I say, hello, we are here to help the people that own this place. Can you scout out if there is anyone on this floor? Do you know? Besides us?
One of the ravens closest to you, it had its back to you initially, and as you start to speak, it turns slowly on its perch, looks down and blinks, doesn't say anything, but drops off his perch and lands on the top of the very first large cask that is closest to you, and pecks at it a couple of times.
Oh, Carlos, he's not saying anything, but should we open the cask or something?
I mean, you asked them if they could scout out. Maybe there's someone hiding in the cask. So I'm keeping my voice low now.
So this is what you guys see as you are peering through this door. Oh, crap. Wrong one. Let's bring this up slightly larger. So the bird has flown down from the top and has landed on this cask here closest to you and has just pecked at the top and then looked back at you and given you a sort of cocked his head to one side, just staring at you, blinking.
Have we got any acid we can pour in the cask?
I'm gonna motion the raven to fly off of it.
And it does so. It flies back up and re-perches back into the rafters above.
Is this just made of wood?
Looks like it. From your position, it's definitely, they're all made of wood. You are probably 3 or 4 feet above it. From your position, because I'm assuming you haven't walked fully into the room, that you're just at the doorway at this point. If you want to sort of get a better view, you're going to have to get closer.
I'm gonna give them the old with my hammer to the team.
She wants to hit herself in the face with the hammer.
We get in front of each of the casks and just swing all at the same time, right?
Maybe. He just said no fire. He did not say no smashing thing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I could do. I could build an eldritch cannon, so it's not fire, but it's force. I could just blow shit apart.
So which edge of the room are we at, DM?
You are on looking from your perspective on you see the mouse there, on the right hand, on the right hand side on the top of that doorway there, at the top of the stairs.
Okay, so Carlos is like giving Cedric a thumbs up. Sure, I'll go to one of the barrels then with my axe at the ready.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
Okay, which vat are you going to go for? These aren't barrels, these are vats. These are 12 foot high. You can walk out to the top of them with the little platforms there.
Yeah, pretty big.
So they're about 12 foot high, but 8 feet around, because they're very big.
Are you all sure that you don't want me to create a forced cannon and shoot it from a distance? Remember that we just had an exploding castle, an exploding cart, a couple of people died. This might explode.
And the cannon wouldn't let it explode?
No, it will destroy the barrel, and if there's someone in the barrel that we actually want to keep alive, that might be a bad idea.
You're not going to do that from my back, so I'm going to put you down now before you think of this more. And
No, I'm good here. I'm good. I'm going to cling on tight.
Yeah. There's not much room in here, right? So we have to be careful. But it's a good idea, Adol. Shoot the barrel and then, see what comes out.
Yeah, I just don't want anyone to get hurt. Not that I give a fuck about you guys. I don't care about you guys at all, but I don't want you to get hurt, because then I'm in trouble.
Yes, right. Okay.
I need
like the can.
everyone that
Yeah.
is standing in the doorway right now to roll a perception check for me, please. So that would be initially Fibblestib, Zadriel. Carlos has probably moved up to the doorway.
Yeah.
And Adok was in Zadriel's pack. The other two would probably not be able to see or hear what this potentially would be.
It's not good.
I'm gonna use a luck.
Yes, don't forget, chat, you have channel points to spend, Lux, Inspirations, and players. There's a new channel points thing available for the players as well, so check that out. A natural one on perception.
So-
Karnos is totally distracted.
So what did I see? Because it seems to be that I was the only one that actually rolled decent.
It looks like it. So Fibblestib, everyone else is kind of preoccupied with the talking of the vats and possible destroying of vats, the crows, the rustling of the twigs and leaves coming from below you still. A lot of distraction going on. But Fibblestib, as everyone's sort of whispering and talking, you hear... Pretty sure you heard someone say something. You couldn't make out what it was, but it was definitely coming from underneath your current position in that room. You definitely heard a voice. You're just not 100% sure what it said. It definitely came from below you, and it sounded kind of echoey.
Okay, I'm going to pull out my trusty crowbar. Go to Zadriel, go. This might be a better idea than using the hammer. I think there's actually someone in the barrel.
You want me to beat them with a crowbar? It would take more time.
No, I use the crowbar to pry the lid off.
I walk up, take the crowbar off Phil and go from the lid to the barrel.
Are you going to do it quietly, or are you just going to stroll out there?
Quietly.
Stealth check, please.
Remember, if everything goes to shit, I've got fire, right? You can burn everything.
So, give me 1 second
Yeah,
here.
that's probably not a good idea because we're still in the bloody building.
I
No
like the
fire.
first idea better.
I don't want fire because I don't want to ruin the good booze that we can get for free at the end of this,
That
right?
one, that one.
Are we getting booze at the end of this?
Hey guys, I think we're in trouble.
What was your stealth check? 9.
I'm just watching the stream right now.
Alex, okay.
Fire the answer to everything? Yeah. But your stealth check was a 9. As you step out onto this little balcony...
Be right back.
I shouldn't have done that. As you stepped out onto the balcony creaks loudly under your weight. And once again... down on the floor, which was underneath where you guys were currently standing, underneath the stairwell, you see another one of these hooded humanoid characters. Wild hair, same sort of thing. He's hunched pretty much right next to this cast, but on the other side. So it's would have been, from your position, came down the stairs, you probably walked around to about here, heading on to this little platform, as the would creak loudly, and down right under this corner here you see this figure, and you see he's got a flask in his hand, and he sort of looks up at you and goes, "Got me, did. No matter, we win," and scuttles out of sight, heading back towards right underneath this balcony. What do you do, Skathers?
Well, with that, I've already been spotted, so I'll go open the lid of the vat.
There is no lid on this vat, as it's a small opening, which you can see in. What you do see, the moment you step forward, you do notice a large crack and an opening just on this left-hand side here. You can visibly see it from where you're standing. And as you peer into the top of this vat, all you can see is branches, leaves, all manner of debris inside this cask or vat. Doesn't appear to be any liquid in there. and then all of a sudden you see a pair of eyes turn up and look up at you as it grins, and you can see what you could probably say are teeth, but bright yellow eyes. And as that one does, a dozen more turn up and look up at you. Now all you can see is a dozen or so or more glowing eyes looking up at you.
In that case, I jump back and say, "Let's get ready."
And with that, you all start hearing that same rustling and cracking of twigs, and you hear an insane laughter coming from beneath you. Time to play! And we will roll initiative. Roll for them. So, Karnos, your initiative, please.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Adok the Grey.
Got a 15.
Skathis.
8.
Zadriel.
I think that's a third nat one of the night.
Oh, wow.
No way.
What's your total?
1.
Have you got no initiative
I've
modifier?
got 0 to my initiative.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Shit.
So
Okay. Fiddlestep.
10 for me.
10 for you. And Emilia.
It's daytime, isn't it?
It is.
Sweet, 11.
11. So with that, Karnos, you get the initiative in this as you see Skathis sort of jump back and call out, guys, get ready. And as you step out, I'm assuming you probably sort of step into the room a little bit or in the doorway, and all you will see is just almost like a waterfall, like a bubbling water geyser of leaves and twigs just piling out of the top of this vat onto the balcony up near Skathis. Some of them sort of spill out on the floor and start running around and climbing up on the other vat and start making their way up to where you are. There is a lot of these creatures. So all about 3.5, 4 feet tall. Very twig-like. It's like leaves and stuff, but they're very distinctively humanoid, and they look very aggressive as they start clambering towards Skathis.
Okay, how far are they from me?
From your position, the closest one would probably be about 25 feet away.
Okay.
As they all start piling out of this thing and sort of scrambling up.
Karnos is going to say, as he steps forward in front of... so I'm not going to leave that stairwell, but I'm going to try and step forward and sort of... I'm going to say, Skathis, get behind me. Everyone pull back into that room. We can congest them at the doorway and keep an eye on what's coming up through that hole. Yay or nay, go for gold. And he's going to stand forward with his shield and axe in front of Skathis and hopefully close enough to hit the nearest one.
Okay, so you're basically going to stand there directing people back to the doorway?
I'd like to direct them while trying to fight off the nearest one. So if I can get closest to the nearest creature.
So you're going to move fully forward to...
Yep, to get to it.
Cool. So you're probably about 5 or 10 feet away from the closest one at this point.
I'd get in within 5 feet of it.
Yep.
Then, yeah. And after I call that, it's up to you guys what you do. And I'm going to hack the nearest one with my first attack.
You can do that.
My axe. I have my shield in hand, so it's
no worries.
22 to hit for the first hit.
That'll definitely hit.
And second hit, 19.
That will also hit. You'll probably be able to hit a couple of them. It's almost like they're swarming and climbing over each other to get to you guys.
Okay, sweet. First hit is 8. First damage and second damage.
So you will manage to kill 2 with your two blows. As you swing forward and hit the first, trying to sort of, as they're trying to reach out and scratch at Skathis, you swing down with your axe on the first one, and it just splinters it into twigs and leaves, and it sort of scatters across the floor, and some of it falls off the balcony down to the vat below. The second one you sort of hit, and it hits the wall and does the same thing, just sort of breaks apart.
Okay. And I say, there's a lot, but they're pretty easy to destroy, so bear that in mind. And that's it for me.
Next up is Adok with Emilia on board after that. So Adok, you are still in Zadriel's pack, I believe, because you did not get down.
Great.
So you will be you'll be behind Karnos, about 25-ish feet away from these creatures as they're all sort of surging towards the door.
All right, Adoc's gonna be like, "What's Jadriel? Stand still!" And he's gonna like rummage through his little backpack. He's gonna pull out a bit of ration, and he's gonna say, "Grah!" And he's gonna cast grease at a pile in front of everyone if he can. It's a 60 foot with a 10-foot radius.
Okay, so you're gonna sort of just on the catwalk.
Just as long as it's in front. So if we push back,
Okay.
or people
So
start
you would
push
do.
back,
I would
then
say
it'll
you would
follow.
definitely put it on the opposite side of Skathis, so Skathis wouldn't be impeded by this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you got
It's got
more than
60
enough
foot
range.
radius.
Yeah, you got more than enough range to do it, and it's a 10-foot
Yep.
section.
It's a 10-foot radius. Yeah.
Easy
And,
enough to do.
Each creature standing in it must succeed on a dex throw. If they fail, they're prone.
No problems. So that is your turn.
That is my turn. Yes.
Next up, Emilia with Fibble on board after that.
So I'm outside the room, aren't I?
You are. You would definitely hear what was going on now. You would have heard them shouting and sort of saying, hey, shit's going down.
I'm going to stay close to the door, basically looking inwards, but sort of looking around.
Yep.
And then not going to do much.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be kind of congested at the doorway, so you probably wouldn't be able to do a whole lot. Fibblesib, you're up on the landing with probably standing next to Karnos, as Karnos has sort of surged forward past you to try and aid Skathis. You are still up on the top of the stairs, looking down at all this happening, and see where the grease has been cast on the opposite side of Skathis, try and create some form of difficult terrain between you and these creatures.
I'm going to take a shot at another one of the creatures using my rifle. And then I'm going to say, yeah, Karnos, that's a great idea. Let's back up. So shoot,
Take a shot.
say that, and then back up
No
into
worries.
the other room.
Take your shot. That'll definitely hit.
26, and I think that's actually a critical.
Yeah, I think. Do you crit on a 19?
No, we turn because of the gun.
Ah, yes, that's right. Because
19
you
is
added we added the thing and we made it a crit on a 19. Yes, I do remember
Yeah.
that. So yes, it is a crit. So don't even bother rolling because I know what your base damage is. And these things don't have a lot of hit points. So again, once again, you just obliterate another one of these creatures that was climbing up on the rail. Looked like it was getting ready to jump out at Skathis, and the Charlotte just reports and it just goes and just scatters into twigs and leaves. And you can see leaves sort of floating down like feathers, and that is the way they sort of float on the air as they float down towards the base of this area.
Yeah, and then I'll move back and I'll try to set myself up so that I'm able to cover. Damn, shut up.
Right, so you move back and back towards the doorway and in through the doorway to gain some cover. Skathis, you're up.
And I'll place myself so I can cover the doorway plus the stairway.
Noted. All good.
Okay, so I take it they're all really close to me, aren't they?
You've got probably half a dozen or so that are all starting to clamber up your legs and up your body. They are absolutely swarming you at this point.
Oh, so they're real close and personal.
Oh yes,
okay.
they are. There is a lot of them, and they just seem to be still coming out of the vat.
Damn it! I don't anything that's a wide area. Damn it! So I'm going to do a fist of unbroken air, range attack, 30-foot range.
Yeah, you could do that. There's a number of them on you, and a whole bunch of them sort of in and around you, so you've got enough targets to choose from.
Okay, so all the way down here, spend 2 key points, sky points, whatever you want to call it.
Call them key points.
Key points.
Everyone does.
Okay, so spend 2. Must make a strength saving throw, DC 11 on a failure. Takes 3d10 damage, bludgeoning damage, plus an extra d10 for each damage. So
Is that single target?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so strength check. These things are not strong. That will be a 9.
With 18, it turns to powder.
Pretty much. You target one that seems to be climbing up on the rail, and as it leaps into the air towards your face, you just release the energy from inside your body, and your ki is expressed, and it just is absolutely obliterated into particles. There's nothing left of this creature. And now what are you doing? Gonna try and move.
I'm going to do my second attack, which will be a normal attack of something. I guess something that's on me.
Yep. You can certainly try.
14
That'll hit.
and 7.
And you manage to destroy another one as you strike out with your wrist, just literally grabbing it and just backhanding it to try and get it off your body. You are able to do so.
And I still have movement, don't
You
I?
do still have movement.
Yeah.
You are, however, rather inundated with a lot of these creatures, so there will be a number of opportunity attacks if you decide to try and move.
I'll use another key point for Step of the Wind. You can spend 1 key point to take the disengage or dash action as a bonus action on your turn, and your jump distance is doubled for that turn.
Okay, so which action are you going to take?
I was thinking a jump action.
No, your jump is if you use disengage or the dash, then your jump is doubled. You can jump as part of that.
Okay, then I'll disengage.
So as you disengage, which negates the opportunity attack, but you still have several of these creatures on you, so they will come with you as you jump.
Yep.
Which will put you pretty much right next to Karnos with relative ease, but you have about 5 or 6 of these things clinging onto your clothes and clawing at your body as they're trying to sort of scale up and scratch at your face.
Awesome.
So that is now it's their turn. So what you do see as you're jumping forward, and Karnos, you'd probably see it. Fibble, you'd probably see it before you retreated. You see this manic-looking humanoid creature climb up the center barrel and up on the top and jump up onto the platform behind you guys, or looking at you guys. And he sort of looks at you, and he points his staff in your general direction. And what is the range on that? So I need Karnos, Fibblestib, and Skathis. I need you all to make strength saving throws, please. As a whole bunch of vines start to grow from the wood from beneath you and from the wall. Fibblestib with a 17, Karnos with a 15, and I believe Skathis was 6. This is, what is your spell DC, sir? DC. So, Karnos and Fibblestib, you see this happening. You manage to step out and bat away these vines as they start to drip onto your legs and snake up your legs to try and pin you in place. Skathis, however, you get to the top of the stairs with your jump, and as you go to step up the stairs towards Karnos, a vine snakes up around your right leg and up to your hip and starts coming up to your back. And it is now holding you in place. You are now grappled. Or restrained, sorry, not grappled. You're restrained. So, now in a 20-foot square in front of you guys is just these vines reaching out and trying to grasp everything in its path. So that is his turn, and you can hear him muttering things under his breath, and it's very, very chaotic and very weird. Some of it's legible, some of it's not. Next up is these little creatures. So unfortunately, Scathus, you're going to take a number of attacks here. There is quite a few on you. So let me see. I need to roll here. We're going to roll a collective roll for the 5 that are on you. With a dirty 20 to hit. So I believe that does hit you, Scathus.
This is gonna hurt.
You will take 15 points of piercing damage from all 5 of them. They don't do a huge amount of damage, but there's a lot of them. These 5 creatures that are hanging onto your body just start digging their claws in, scratching at your face, scratching at your arms and legs. 15 points of piercing damage. They start swarming forward. A number of them do need to make a save as they run through the grease. What's the saving throw on the grease?
14.
Strength, dexterity?
Dex.
We'll roll another d20 here with a natural 16. And their dex is a +1, so it's 17. So they managed to get through. Some of them just clamber up the wall, sort of skirting around it. Others managed to sort of slide their way through it, almost like little ice skaters as they hit it and just sort of baseball slide across it. About half a dozen make their way up the stairs towards you, Karnos. So you are going to end up with a number of attacks also. No, you won't, with a natural 1. As these creatures sort of try and scratching at you, and they just can't seem to penetrate your armor at all. More and more of them seem to be coming from the vat as well. There seems to be almost unending flow of these creatures.
They miss me, so
they
I'm going
miss
to make
you.
a riposte attack because I have a reaction.
No problem.
I expend a superiority die, do a melee weapon. So basically, it gives me a melee weapon attack, added damage. So I'll take 1 hit, which will be, and I'm going to, whatever one's closest to me, I'm just going to try and strike down through the middle of it.
No problem.
12 to hit.
That will, I believe, hit. Hang on, 1 second. Nope, that will miss.
Okay, so I swing and miss.
So this reaches out to try and grab you. You swing your axe, trying to swat it down, and it manages to crawl up over your shoulder and almost sit up on your shoulder. And you can hear that they're not talking or no voice or anything, but they're making sort of just crunching. It's all very organic noises that's coming from them.
That is my reaction in there too.
Zadriel, it is now your turn.
So they are still coming out of the barrel?
There is a lot of them. It seems like there's still more coming from this vat.
I am going to cast Moonbeam on that crack and the barrel where they're coming out of.
Yep.
That would be a con save.
On save. Let's see here. I would say, what type of... can you give me the stats on the Moonbeam, like its size?
5 foot cylinder.
5 foot cylinder? Nice.
Yeah.
So, their con save was an absolute failure with a 6.
Right. They get 14 damage, radiant.
So I would say with this, because it's almost like a column of moonbeam, moonlight energy, radiant energy that is descending into this vat where these creatures are coming from. You just see as the radiant energy hits them, you don't hear any screams of pain, but you do hear the cracking of twigs and the rustling of leaves quite loudly, as it seems to be a lot of these creatures have now just been dispatched in a single blow.
Okay, good. And then I will... I am by the door where Karnos said we should be probably still, yes?
Yep.
So I will stay and hold.
Okay, so we're back to the top of the initiative with Karnos.
So Karnos sort of makes a quick look back. He says, all right, good. Just make sure you check in behind. We don't want to get caught from the stairwell that we came up. And then he turns back. How many are in front of me at this point in time on that stairwell?
On that initial stairwell where you are, or
where I am,
where you are, there is probably maybe 10 or 12, with the ones that are on Scathus and moving up, and the few that are pretty much in your face as well.
Sweet, cool. I basically holding my shield forward, I'm going to strike at the closest one. Same thing. I'm going to strike straight down, try and split it through the middle.
Yep.
So my first hit, 10. I'll just roll damage at once.
The first hit was 10.
10. Oh, sorry. No,
That will miss.
that one, that's a miss. And second hit. Oh man, rolling low.
That'll also miss. They seem to be a little bit quicker than when you first encountered them. They seem to be moving and sort of scurrying up around you and in between your legs, and some of them are trying to climb up the wall. The vines that are beneath you now are still trying to reach out and grab you, so I need you to make another strength save as well, please. If you're going to move.
Before I do that, as my bonus action, I'm going to Shield Master Shove.
Yep.
They will have to make a strength save versus, and I'll just find it.
I will say you'd probably be able to shove maybe 3 or 4. They're not big. So that's a natural 10 minus 2, so that'll be an 8.
Yeah, not enough, I'm afraid.
So is there damage with that, or do they just get shoved backwards?
No damage. They just get shoved, laying down, so prone.
Okay. So you would see probably 4 or 5 of these things. As you shove forward your shield, you manage to collect a number of them, and they're all sort of knocked backwards, rolling backwards down the stairs.
Sweet. So my plan was to shove and then try and push back 5 feet closer to the doorway.
We'll need to make a strength save as you are still in the entangling vines that are beneath your feet.
Sweet as. I pull as hard as I can, and I get an 11.
11. That, I believe, is a failure. So you are now restrained. Yes, it
okay,
is.
I'm getting stuck, guys. Keep pushing back. Get in that room. That's it for Carnos.
No problem. So, obviously restrained, your speed becomes 0 and you can't benefit from any bonus to your speed. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage. Just be aware of that. So, with that, it is now Adok's turn, with Emilia on board after that.
Seeing Carnos getting stuck by the vines, he's going to dig deep and he's going to yell out to Carnos and he's going to say, Carnos, this is one of those times where if you make it through this, buddy, this is going to be the greatest story. You're going to be a hero, yeah? You've got it. And he's going to spend a bardic inspiration die.
No worries.
Carlos just replies, "You're awesome, friend. Thank you."
D8.
And then he's going to whisper to Zadriel and be like, he's fucked.
I agree.
And then he's going to blow out, as his action, he's going to pick up his blowgun, and he's just going to shoot at one of the little creatures anywhere.
No worries. Just fire away. Come on, play your blowgun. Go on. You know you want to.
No, I can't. It'll just go. That's the blowgun as he shoots it. That's 25.
That'll definitely hit.
With 4 damage.
That's enough to kill it. So you managed to reduce another one of these creatures to not but branches and leaves as Adok blows his little blowgun, makes a squeaking noise in Zadriel's ear, and dispatches one of these creatures. Is that your turn? Are you gonna get out of this pack? You gonna move, or are you staying right where you are?
Hell no. I'm safe.
Emilia with Fibbleslip up after that. Emilia, your turn. There's a bit of a congestion in the doorway. You probably could shoot through with a spell or some form of range attack, but I'm pretty certain you will, unless someone moves out of your way, you are not going to get through this doorway. She's fairly well congested at the moment.
How far from the doorway is Gaithus?
He's probably about 10 or 15 feet from the doorway.
Yeah, okay.
He's still on the stairs, unfortunately.
So that's the stairs within that room.
Yes.
Okay, alright,
Actually, just before we proceed, Emilia and who else was in that room still? Just Emilia, not Fibble, so Adok and Zadriel kind of still in the doorway, aren't you? So I'll get you 3 to roll a perception check, please. Just quickly for me.
14.
It's not bad. Not bad. So you guys would definitely hear that same scratching twig breaking and leafy sound now getting louder from behind you. And as you sort of turn and glance over your shoulder, you'll see a quite steady flow of these same creatures now coming up through the loading dock hole. Seems like they're climbing up over each other to make almost a human ladder or a human mound of twig creatures that are now climbing up and spilling into the room behind you.
What about the stairway?
Doesn't look like they need to come up the stairway.
Alrighty. No, that changes everything. Emilia is going to move on to the other side of the doorway from everything is, but not stand in it.
Yep.
And then through the doorway, she's going to cast Healing Word at Scathus.
Okay, so cast your healing word.
That's a 9.
So Scathus, you received 9 points of healing from Emilia.
And yeah, she's going to stand on the other side of the doorway from the things that are coming up the hole.
Okay, so you move into you cast your spell, you move back out of the way to give yourself a position where you can see these creatures coming, so they're not behind you.
She's going to call out as a bonus action that they're coming up from behind us, coming up through the hole.
Okay, so everyone would definitely hear this. Fibblesib, you're up. Scathus on board after that.
Can I see the crazy old dude from where I am?
You certainly can. You are in the doorway, and you can see out across that catwalk behind all these creatures. He's slowly moving forward, but only just slowly, holding the staff up in the direction of these creatures and you guys. And just real crazy eyes, but you can definitely see him.
Alright, out of my pouch, I'm going to pull like a little stomach, put some rhubarb in it, squash it, and then cast Acid Arrow at him.
Fire away.
.22 to hit.
That'll hit. Nicely done.
And he takes 15 points of acid damage. And at the end of his turn, he'll take another 2d4.
Nice. Well done. You can see the acid arrow as it releases from your hand and strikes him in the chest and upper sort of neck area. The acid starts to eat away at the skin, and you see recoils, takes half a step back, and sort of twitches. And the guy, you can tell he's absolutely nuts. The guy's crazy. Just hairs everywhere. He's got goat horns, like a goat horn headdress, and just muttering to himself almost continuously. Is that your turn, Fibble?
Unfortunately, that's all I can do.
Scathus, it is now your turn. You are finding it a little difficult to move. You are restrained. You can make a strength check at the end of your turn to see if you can remove yourself from this spell.
Well, how about this? We first take the little shits that are on me off.
Do you want to try and remove all of them, or just one? Because if you want to make a strength check, you can make a strength check to see if you can throw them all off. But you will lose the opportunity to make the strength check against the grasping vines.
I'll try and kill off as many as I can with me blows.
Okay. So roll your attacks. Might as well roll them both together. That'll be a miss. And that'll be a miss. Double 8s. So you're swinging, you just can't seem to get a purchase on them. They seem to, like, it's almost like rat-like in the way that they crawl up over your body and move around behind you and stuff. So your strength save is 16. You do manage to break free of your restraint, however, and you are now able to move once again.
Can I go further? Like move further back to where Karnos suggested we go?
You'd have to, you could get through the doorway. You'd have to sort of push past everybody else, but you could definitely do it.
Yeah, I'll do that. That way the others can start moving back.
You will take a few attacks, however. as you surge forward. With a 15 to hit. Does that hit?
Yes, it does.
You will take another 15 points of piercing damage as you leave the area of effect of some of these creatures that are sort of swarming up around your legs as you move forward. But you still have there's 3 or 4 still on you, but you managed to move away from the bulk of the pack. You're now with your allies. Next up is the Druid with the gnarled staff. As he's just received an acid arrow from Sadiq, he looks at you and points a gnarled finger at you. And he will not do a whole lot, I don't think. Let's see what we got here. He is going to first move his entire movement towards you guys, which will put him into the grease. So we roll a strength save, dexterity, isn't it? 17. I think natural 17 is a save, Cam. On your grease, cool. So he manages to keep his footing, which puts him within 30 feet of all you guys now. He's not going to do anything else. He's just going to move himself forward, still holding his staff up in your general direction. Next up, it is the creature's turn. With that, Skathis, another attack. Oh, he takes damage, doesn't he?
Yeah,
6 points of damage.
Of acid.
And he recoils with that damage. He did not expect it. He's not looking too crash hot, in fact. Looking a little bloodied. So, Skathis, you now take another series of attacks with a 13 to hit. That does hit, so another 15 points of piercing damage to you. Karnos, you also are attacked.
They have advantage because I'm restrained.
They certainly do. Which will be double rolls of 10, so it'll be 12 to hit, so I believe that will miss. So you get a range of scathing attacks, again scratching at your armor. They can't seem to breach the armor though. By this time,
use my riposte.
Yep.
So I can use it as.
Your mic volume has dropped out a little bit too, Baz.
Oh, I lean back. Sorry.
Okay, cool.
Is that better?
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll use the riposte, and that will be a single strike plus. Oh man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
20 to hit.
Definitely.
And I get a +8 to this, plus D8 to this roll.
That'll definitely hit. I'd say you take out another 2 with that, as you sort of sweep forward.
17.
Yeah, definitely you sort of rake forward, probably rip the few that have been hanging on to you off and manage to remove them.
Sweet, and that's just my reaction from their turn, thank you.
With that, Fibble, you also get attacked as the surge of these creatures start moving forward up the stairs and into the doorway. Another series of attacks here. Low rolls, so they can't manage to get a purchase on you, Fibble, so you manage to be able to fend them off with Charlotte as they're sort of reaching out trying to scratch at you. The ones coming up from behind you, Emilia, as you see them sort of spilling out over top of this gap, they start moving into position in behind Zadriel and Adok, and they start climbing up your back, Zadriel, so they're up your legs and up the back of your armor. Adok, you're probably the first that they would get to in that respect. Got another low roll. Holy Jesus Christ, that will miss. Zadriel with a series of attacks with an 8, so that will also miss. So they're not really doing really well on their attacks, but they're starting to swarm up from both front and behind. In front of you, the ones that were in front of you that came out of the vat initially, it seems that the moonbeam has been effective, and the flow has slowed. And as you are slowly but surely making your way through them, they seem to be thinning out, so that you can sort of see an end to the ones in the vat space. However, the ones behind you seem to be ongoing at this point. So Zadriel, you are up. You now have a series of creatures starting to swarm up behind you.
I can see that druid fellow next.
You are still in the
within
doorway?
sight.
Yes, you can. He is about 30 feet from the door.
I'm going to break my moonbeam concentration, and I'd like to get to him in divine smite.
You're going to try and you will take a lot of attacks of opportunity moving through these creatures to get to him.
Can I misty step as a bonus action?
You can.
Do they come with me, probably?
Are the ones that... No, actually, no, they won't. It's only a willing creature. So if Adok is willing, he will go with you. I know it's the dimension door. Actually, no, you wouldn't. Adok, you would remain. Because it's only dimension door that it takes a willing creature with you, I believe. Just double check on the spell, Zedriel.
That's fine. You do what you would do, Zedriel.
Briefly surrounded by mist, you teleport up to 30 feet of an occupied space that you can see. That's all it says.
Yep, so Adok will remain behind. He will drop to the floor.
This will look funny.
It will look funny.
It now.
I can picture it too. So Zadriel, you concentrate and you cast Misty Step and you vanish. Adok, you drop from 6 feet. Boom, hit the ground. And Zadriel, you reappear next to this this druid, this maniac-looking creature, and he just wide-eyed as you appear in front of him and make your attack.
Okay. 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
And then I've got my divine smite. So that's 11 plus 9. So 20 damage.
That is enough to dispatch this creature as you smash him. Whereabouts do you hit him with your hammer?
I'd like to smash him across the cheekbone, just...
So you raise your hammer high, come down across his face, connecting with the bones in this creature's face. He's not a big man. He's probably only about 5'6", 5'7" tall. But you hear and the impact, solid impact of metal on bone, and it shatters all the bones in this guy's face, killing him on impact. And his body is then sent up against the wall, where it thuds heavily against the wall. The staff in his hand drops and clatters wood on wood as it hits the catwalk at your feet. Almost immediately, with that kind of impact, you notice a crack form in the staff as it hits, and an energy sort of releases from it. Kind of odd, but is that your turn?
Yes.
It's almost like a darkened energy releases from the staff. Only a small amount, just noticeable. So, Karnos, back at the top of the round.
So does that put Zadriel in front of my position now? Or
She is 30 feet well in front of you, out in the vat room. Between you and her is probably another 15 or 16 of these creatures.
All right. So I guess I'm roughly in the doorway because I've...
Yep. You haven't really moved. You sort of stepped back into the doorway. That was about it.
All right. I'm going to look over my shoulder to look at what's going on in the room behind me. How much of these stick creatures are in there?
Kind of hard to tell, but there's a lot.
Okay. So it looks safer in front than it does behind.
Definitely.
Zadriel, you carry on there. That was good. Take that guy out. Seems to be a good idea. Is there any more of them around? And then with that, I just turn around and go to the nearest creature I can get to, basically.
Yeah, you still got a few. You got 2 or 3 still hanging on to you, but
still hanging on me. Okay.
You've definitely got more in front of you though, so you got plenty there to choose from.
All right. Swinging for the benches. I'm going to strike through the shoulder of the closest one.
Yep.
That's a hit.
Definitely. And I think your base weapon's enough to kill it anyway.
Probably.
So it's enough to, with a 9, I'd say you take another 2 out. As you sort of make a sweeping attack with the one hand just sweeping across in front of you, and manage to connect with 2 and grab and sort of dispatch 2 in a single blow.
Natural 1 with the second. I'm going to hold on to my Bardic Inspiration for now, and I'm just going to do it as a bonus action. I'm going to do that shield shove again, so I just need to make a strength save.
Strength. Their strength is shite, so it should fail. Yes, another low roll of a 3. God, all my rolls are low tonight.
So that would knock another one.
That would probably knock another 4 or 5 backwards and down the stairs.
Sweet. It is. And I'm going to, once again, am I still in the... Because I made a save on those vines, am I still in their reach?
No, you'll be fine. Once you saved, you're pretty good. And now this creature is dead, it seems to have dissipated.
Sweet. So I'm going to back through the doorway of that room, and as far as I can get to the closest enemy again.
Okay, so you'd backing up into the room you were standing in. You'd probably back into a position which gives you a eyesight and eye line on the creatures that are spilling into the room. So you're probably standing pretty much next to Emilia as you back into the room.
Yeah, I want to defend we say Fibblestub for sure. I want to be defending him.
You're definitely within reach of all. You're in reach of pretty much all of those guys. You're all roughly in the doorway, so I think you're in a pretty good position where you are.
Sweet, and I'll just say, right, try to keep behind me if you can in a corner. Everyone protect the casters, guys. You saw those mage go down and the vine stop. That's up to you, and that's it for me.
Next up, Adok with Emilia on board after that.
Alright, so when Zadriel misstepped, you would have heard Adok go, alright, I've got a... As like all these things like fucking started coming onto him.
Yeah, well, you would have hit the ground and probably had been dogpiled by these things. So you're probably now underneath a lot of these things right now.
Great.
Like you can still be heard, but they're all about your height. So there's a great big dog pile of twig creatures on Adok right now.
You just hear screaming going, Zadriel, come back, Zadriel! But at this point, can I use Disengage as my bonus action, Nimble Escape, which is a feature?
Yes, you certainly can.
Right, so he's going to try and worm his way out using Disengage.
Make a strength check first, because there are a few of them there, just to see if you can manage to get out from underneath this pile. Yeah, you're all good. They're not huge. They don't weigh a lot, but so you manage to throw a few off and get yourself back to your feet, and you disengage.
Great. So I'd like to move back into a position so I've got some distance between me and whatever the hell these things are.
No problem.
And then how big is the hallway that we're in?
10 feet wide.
Great, fantastic. So Adok is going to quickly rummage through his components bag, pull out a bit of spider web, and he's going to cast from one point of the hallway, one wall to the other wall. He's going to cast a second level web.
Where you're positioned, and you're probably back in the loading bay area, so that is quite an open space. There is a hall which leads to the stairwell. Are you trying to block them from coming into the stairwell?
Yeah, where they're spilling out from.
Oh, that's from the loading bay. That's a 10-foot square coming up from the floor.
Right. So this web covers a 20-foot radius.
Okay, so it would cover that hole, but there are creatures spilling up through it at the moment. So
that's fine.
You can definitely try it.
It's got a 60-foot radius of the spell, and it covers 20 foot.
That would cover the hole. So I would say, I've made a couple of rolls, but for the time being, it seems that once this webbing just fills the gap of the loading bay area, the flow of these creatures seems to have come to a halt. So by the looks of it, estimating from where you're currently standing, all of you, you've probably got about 20 or 30 of these things in the room with you. And another probably 12 in the vat room still between Zadriel and Karnos, roughly.
Okay, yeah, great. That's basically all Adok does. Escapes, cast web around the hole. Anyone that tries to pass through the web needs to make a DC check, Dex of 14, or they are restrained.
No problem.
Yeah.
Emilia, you're up. Fibble on board after that.
So where's Scathus?
Scathus is in the room with you.
He's in the room with me.
Yes.
Excellent. Being the fact that he's taking damage again, Emilia is going to use Cure Wounds. She's going to reach out and touch him.
Emilia walks over to you, Scathus, and touches you and releases the healing power of the Druid for a 13. Nice heal. For 13 points of healing for Scathus. Anything else Emilia would like to do?
If, when she touched him, she touched a spot that had blood on it, she's going to then lick her hand.
I'll allow it. Not enough to obviously do any kind of sustain you at all. It's not human, so it definitely doesn't have the effect you would hope, but it's pretty tasty.
And she's just going to go back to her place that's not blocking the doorway.
No worries. Fiddlesib, you're up. Skathis on board.
Can I see the other druid dude?
No, the one that you saw that was on the crane is not in the room. He doesn't appear to be anywhere within eye line of view at this point.
Okay, so he's controlling these other sticks from somewhere else. I guess I'm gonna aim at the lower part to try to like knock them off so that they slow coming up.
Yeah, they have definitely slowed with the webbing that's been cast. You've seen the webbing cast across the hole.
Yeah.
So they're definitely slowed, but you can attempt to slow it further if you wish.
Yeah, just because they're making like a human chain.
Yeah.
So I want to try to break that human chain. So
Go for it.
Got to
go for it. Roll
Shoot
your
at the-
attack.
shoot at the human chain. Don't file me now. 13 to hit,
That'll hit.
and she does a beautiful 10 points of damage.
And you do manage to take out another couple with that shot as you're shooting down on a downward angle through a couple of them, and it disrupts the flow, definitely. You manage to make a break in that chain where eventually they're going to have to try and rebuild and try to re-establish that link. It's definitely stopped it for the time being.
And keep an eye out for this other dude. Just try to take him out.
No problem. So, Skathis, you're up.
I still have like 4 or 5 of these suckers on me, don't I?
Probably 3 or 4, yeah.
So I'm going to try a strength check, see if I can get them off me.
No worries. DC 12.
Oh,
Failure with 11. You managed to get one off, but the others are hanging on tight. So you have a
Alright.
bonus action left. That was your action.
so bonus action, I'll use a... Yeah, bonus action, use a key point to invoke Flurry of Blows.
I believe you have to hit in order to use Flurry of Blows.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. And I'm strike then.
Go for it.
Where was I? Rolling.
Roll to hit.
Yes, that's what I was doing. Yeah.
That'll miss, unfortunately. So that is you. Anything else you want to try?
Negative.
It is you. So now it is these creatures' turn. Once again, a series of attacks as they start to swarm once again. So Skathis, why is this not rolling? Roll. Nope. My D&D Beyond has crapped itself. I'm going to have to grab my dice.
Oh damn! Here comes the good rolls.
Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Nope, still fails. So I've lost my initiative order because thank you D&D Beyond, but I think I remember most of it. These creatures will miss on a number of the attacks because I'm rolling really, really low tonight. Next lot of attacks at Karnos. Again, 7. Jeez. I'm going to go to real dice, I think. Attacks at as the creatures in the loading bay move forward into attacking positions on all of you now. Adok, you take 15 points of piercing damage with an 18 to hit as 3 or 4 of them swarm at you.
As a reaction, I would like to use shield,
Certainly can.
which bumps out. It's another 5, so 20 AC.
So that will be a miss on their part. As they strike out with the shield forms and they hit nothing but a magical barrier. Zadriel, it is now your turn as the ones that are probably 15 feet away. They seem to be more focused on the others than you. And they don't seem to want to come anywhere near you at this point. What are you doing?
The 3 closest teammates, I'm gonna assume, would be like Skathis, Karnos, and maybe Adok.
Karnos and Fibblestib, and potentially Adok. Skathis has moved completely into the other room.
I'm gonna cast Bless and give it to those 3 that I can see the closest.
What is the range on that? So 60 feet.
30. Am I not within range?
You'd be able to move into range.
I'll try to move if I can.
You'd be able a couple of steps would put you in range. A couple of steps would put you right next to that staff. And put you in range.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna cast that, and then as a bonus action, well, I kind of want to pick it up, but I guess I'll wait till.
You can pick it up as a free action.
Yeah, I'll pick it up. I feel like this is a bad idea.
No, you pick it up and with a quick inspection, with the small amount of time you have, you can see that it's a branch of some sorts. It's been sort of shaped a little bit, but nothing much. The breach in the branch is leaking a darkened sort of sap-like substance, and it stinks. It smells pretty bad. But as you pick it up and sort of you cast your bless spells, pick it up and turn towards your companions, you notice that these creatures move away from you 5 feet. They do not want to come anywhere near you while you at the moment. They seem to be moving away from you, not towards you.
Oh. Alright, I'm going to use my movement to get as close to my team as I can without getting hit, and those 3 people have blessed now, which is a D4 to your saving throws and attacks.
So is that your turn?
That's my turn, yeah.
So back to the top of the initiative order with Karnos.
Right, Karnos is looking at basically who is the closest member to him.
Would have been Adok, probably. No, Fibblestib, I would imagine, be the closest.
Alright, he will take a position just in front of Fibblestib, moving. He will take any attacks that come at his way if he moves and takes them.
I think you'd be okay just moving. You guys are sort of vying for positions. That's not so bad.
Cool. Mr. Stib, I shall keep them off you. Let's see if we can spot one of them caster guys, and I will make my first strike at the nearest creature, and I'm going to try and chop him off at the waist.
No problem. Swing away, good sir.
With a bit low on that one. I'm going to use my Bardic Inspiration, add a D8 to that.
Oh, excuse me. That'll still miss. The creature's a little bit quick for you.
He's a little bit quick. Alright, I will make my second strike. Same way, across his hip. That's a little better.
That definitely hits.
And for 6 damage.
Managed to dispatch yet another of these tree creatures.
And how many more have I got left? Bonus action, shield shove. So that
shove away.
Strength check.
The strength's pretty shit.
16.
Nope, that'll be a 11.
Okay, so I've knocked him down again. And that will be it for Karnos.
Now I've got to try and remember the order. Who was after Karnos? Adok? Yes, I believe it was. So Adok, your turn.
Sorry, I had my finger up.
Yeah.
Looking around, who's in my close proximity? How many twigs, things, whatever they are? I'm guessing twigs.
You got a dozen or so in your immediate area. You've got Skathis behind you. To your right, Fibblestib and Karnos, maybe 10 feet. Between
10
all of
feet?
you. About 5 or 10 feet between all of you.
Fuck. Alright, so obviously I've got twigs that I've just tried to...
Yep, you certainly have. They tried to eat your face.
Great, I am going to... everyone's going to see a bit of lightning course through Adok's hands, and then he's going to pound the floor directly below him, and he's going to cast Thunder Wave at a second level.
What's the save on that?
It's Constitution of 14.
That would be a failure. with
Great.
a 10.
So
And that'll be a group failure for all those in front of you. So what's the range on it? 15
that's
feet
15
cube?
feet. All of them take 11 damage and are pushed 10 feet away.
Nothing is pushed 10 feet away because everything within 15 feet in front of you is obliterated. And just a shower of twigs and leaves. So I'd say half of those that had come through that hole are now dead.
Great. And then with that, who's the furthest away person at this point?
Probably Scathus. Actually, no.
Right.
Emilia would be.
So
Furthest away
Adult
from you.
is going to piss bolt towards Emilia.
And you will not take any attacks of opportunity as you've just knocked all of them away from you and killed a whole bunch. So I think it was Fibble next, then then Emilia.
Emilia.
Emilia,
then
then
me.
Cool. You guys remember the audio, that's good, because I don't. Emilia, then Fibblestib.
So, how much is around?
A nice gap has been cleared between you and the enemies. So there's probably only about 17 or 18 left, and they are 15 feet from you.
Is Scathus still nearby?
He is. He's within 10 or 15 feet of your current position, probably to your right.
Okay, I'm gonna try to cure him again. Cure wounds on him again.
No problem. You take the 15 feet.
For 4 damage. 4 heal.
The 4 heals.
And then she's gonna move back to her same spot.
No problem. So you don't take any attacks as these creatures have. There's been a bit of a space. Karnos, you still have a couple, 2 or 3 sort of hanging on around you. Fibble, there's a couple there with you, but the bulk of them are now away from you. Maybe 8 or 10 left in the vat room between Zadriel and you guys. Next up, Fibblestib.
I'm just going to shoot something.
No problem. Attack. In the room with you or out of the room in the vat room?
To try to just keep them away from me and Karnos,
Okay.
pretty much.
Cool.
At the same time, still trying to look where this Druid bloody is that's
Okay, so
trolling the pricks.
we'll say
That
make your attack on that one. So yeah. So make a quick perception check for me.
And
See if you can spy this guy.
Perception of 21.
You sort of move towards the edge and take a quick look down, and you indeed spy this hooded man thing. You're not sure if it's man or woman. It's kind of hard to tell, but he's holding the staff up and he's muttering to himself constantly.
Now
Sort of holding up in your general direction.
I'm going to make his life a little bit more interesting next round.
No worries. Next up, I believe, was Scathus.
I take it there's nothing near me.
No, you have maybe 1 or 2 more that are on you still, but they're not any major threat, but the bulk of them are away from you. It's up to you what you want to do.
So the other cloaked figure's elsewhere, isn't he?
You don't know where that cloaked figure is.
I'll take care of these ones that are on me then.
So strength check, DC 10, now there's only 2 of them. With that, I don't think you're going to get any of them.
I'm going to use luck. I have
Okay,
one
you got a luck. You've also got, I think you were also blessed as well. You got a
And?
D4 on top of that.
Okay, so I get to roll again, don't I?
No. But with your luck, you
No.
roll again, yes. But you
Yes.
got a D4 you can add on top. That's better. So with a 19, you're able to get rid of the 2 and sort of throw them off you, 5 or 10 feet away from you. So it puts a bit of distance between you and them.
Yay!
You are now free of enemies on your person.
And I'll use my bonus action to hit one of them.
Okay. Fire away with your bonus action. Single unarmed strike. Nice hit. damage.
So
Enough to
with
kill
that, the last one that I throw off, I throw it against the wall with such force.
Nice. I'll go along with that. I'd say you threw it and then just background kicked it. It's a spinning back kick. Splattered it against the wall.
Yeah, that works.
So, with that, it is the creature's turn as the ones that are left in this room surge forward towards you guys. The ones out in the hallway surge forward towards the door away from Zadriel. Most of them will make it into contact. So first up will be probably Fibble with the ones at the doorway. They will miss you with a fucking 2. Really?
You just keep using that. We'll be happy.
Skathis with a 9. My God, I'm not using this roller anymore.
No, keep using it.
That'll be a 14 to hit as a few of them move further in, and unfortunately Skathis, you're the closest to them, so that'll be another 15 points of piercing damage to you with the second group that swarm in. So with that, we're now Zadriel is now your turn. You have the staff in hand. You are slowly moving forward. There is a bit of a grease patch on the thing, so you will have to make a dexterity save. Is it strength or dexterity to go through it?
Dexterity.
Dex. So you'll have to make a dex save of 14 to see if you can hold your footing, which you do. Do you move forward towards these blights?
Yes, I'm going to try and get to my team, so if they're in the way, then...
They're certainly in the way. There's about 8 or 9 of them in between you and Fibblestep at the moment as you reach the bottom of the stairs.
Alright, do I go up to them? Are they moving away from me as I walk toward them?
Roll a perception check to see if they are reacting to your presence.
11.
It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, they're moving in that direction anyway, so you're not sure if they're moving away from you or if they're just going in for an attack. So it's up to you what you want to do.
I will go up to the closest one and try to hit it with my hammer.
So you're only going to be able to swing it one-handed as you've picked up the staff in your other hand.
Yeah. All right. So it's 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
And that's 11. I get 2 attacks per thingy, so...
Roll your second attack. Another 22. Nice.
I do, wow.
Easy.
And that's 10.
10. So you will... I'd say you'd probably take care of 2 or 3 with that. A couple of swings back and forward, sweeping motion. Just trying to clear a path.
Yep. That's it for me if I get as far as I can.
Back to the top initiative order with Karnos. You can now hear and probably see Zadriel rejoining the position. You can see there's only a few left between you and her, and maybe a dozen or so left in the room with you.
When I moved position in front of Fibble and Fibble was looking for the other dude, Fibble, did you say anything about spotting him?
Yeah, I would have said, there you are, you dirty bastard.
And is he down the hole?
He is down outside on... Adot can see him. You probably can't see him from your position, but he's definitely, he's down below and outside.
Alright, Fibble, I'll draw him to you. How far down is this hole?
It is about 25 feet from your position to the ground.
I'm going to use my movement to drop it down the hole.
So you're going to take 2d6... dexterity save, sorry. Acrobatics. Make it acrobatics.
Acrobatics?
Make an acrobatics check.
It's looking good. 19.
That is pretty good. You drop down the hole and almost Superman land on top of the cart with the barrels in it. You land. As you look up, you look directly into the eyes of this man, and just wild in his look. Eyes are wide, muttering something under his breath. He's holding the staff up, pointing towards you guys. Sees you drop, and sort of just stops for a moment, and then readies himself into a defensive position.
So how far away from me?
Probably about 10 feet, 10-15 feet from...
So I dropped 20, so I should be able to make it to him if I walk down? Or would he be too far?
What's your movement?
30.
It'd be probably just outside of your range.
Yeah, okay. So as I've dropped down, I'll sling my shield and pull my light crossbow off my pack
Yep.
in the same position, and I'll fire my light crossbow
Attack.
right at his face.
Attack, sir.
16 to hit.
That will hit.
I was going to say I'll roll a d4 if I miss, but
No, you definitely hit.
sweet. And then that is 12 arrow in the
Nice.
face damage.
He takes an arrow to the face, catches him just in the cheekbone, just below the cheekbone, on the side there, and it sort of rocks him back a little bit. He reaches up and snaps it off, but throws it to one side, and you can see the blood trickle down his cheek, and he readies himself.
And I make my second. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, that hits.
And I'm going shoulder, sort of neck this area.
That does hit, and he is
12
not
damage.
looking good.
And I call out, "All right, Mr. Stubb, everybody, I'm bringing him to me." And I just put my arms in the air and go, "Come and get it!"
Nicely done. Adok was up next. As Karnos disappears down the hole next to you, and you hear him shout, "Come and get it."
Right. Is there... So I can see this, what you said, yeah? Or no?
You can't from your position. I mean,
Okay.
you've all been told that this other dude's there somewhere. I mean, you could have a quick look. You'd probably might be able to see him. You'd definitely be able to see Karnos on top of the loading bay cart with the wine barrels.
What? So what seems more of an immediate threat? The swarm of fucking things coming
definitely.
towards us?
Oh yeah, they
Great.
are still trying to surround you guys and just scratch
So,
and bite. And
Who looks like they're gonna be swarmed the most?
you do,
Fantastic.
because you are you and Fibble probably the at most threat because you are the smallest.
Great. So I've got a 60-foot range. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach from my component batch. I'm gonna grab 2 seashells with holes in them. I'm gonna slam them together, and I'm gonna cast Shatter.
No worries.
60-foot range at the biggest swarm to try and protect, if I can. It's a 10-foot radius, myself and Fibble.
Yep.
They have to make a con save of 14.
On save 14. So is it every creature within that 10 foot of you, the
Yes.
caster?
Oh, I have a 60-foot range on Shatter, but I'm just going to direct it around 10 feet between
Okay.
Fibble and I, if I can.
So you're putting it on a target, not
Yep.
on you?
Not
Done.
on me. Yeah.
Awesome. So, what was the save? A strength
14.
save?
Constitution,
Con
14.
save. Well, I rolled a natural 18.
Great. Fantastic.
So, and their con's +1, so it's a 19. So that would be a save.
Fantastic. They take half damage, which I got 13.
13,
Which-
so there'd be 7. It's going to kill a lot of them anyway, so I'd say half of what was there, 10 foot radius, would have been destroyed, even with making the save. So you're now down to maybe 8 or 10 in this room.
Fantastic. And with that, if I can, I would move to a position where I look as if I'm not going to get attacked. Right.
You would probably go to the furthest wall behind you, which is away
Yep.
from the loading bay area and the doorway where these others were coming through.
Fantastic.
So next up, I believe, was Emilia.
Yeah, but Emilia doesn't know what he wants to do, so just get me. I'll come back later.
You can hold your action for something if you want.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hold off.
Yes.
I don't.
Well, you got plenty of choices. You can attack, you can sit back and not attack, you can heal again.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit back and not attack.
Okay, so Emilia just hangs back and looks a little confused. I'm not sure what she wants to do. Fibblestep, you're up again.
I'm gonna pull out Charlotte and point it at that Druid dude and
No
go
worries, fire away.
with a 10.
That will miss. You do have bless. I do believe.
Oh, I got
You have
bless
a
as well.
D4.
Cool. So
It
we
was
roll
you,
that
Adok,
D4.
and Karnos had the bless, and
So
Skaters.
13 then.
I believe. Just let me double check. I think that is a hit.
Excellent. I'll accept that for 6 points of damage.
And that is enough to end the life of this second of these cloaked individuals as you aim and fire, strike him in the chest, and it knocks him backwards onto his back, dropping the staff down beside him, and he lays motionless. Anything else you wish to do?
That's it. So I go, yeah, got him! And then...
No problem. Skathis, you're up.
Okay, what's near me?
There is about 8 or so left in the room, about 10 feet from your position.
Alright, attack the first one.
So you move into the group. They're all sort of piled together, but you move in and make your attacks.
So yeah, hang on. Attack first, isn't it? Yes, that's what I was doing.
Attack
that
first. 25 to hit. That hits. 8 damage. You destroy another one. Second attack.
Using key, doing flurry.
Resolve your second attack. Oh no, do your flurry of blows first. It'd be 2 unarmed attacks.
That's a miss with the flurry.
That is a miss. Going on my browser.
Then second attack. 14 to hit.
That hits.
That's a 4 damage.
That's another one dispatched.
Another key point for another flurry of blows.
How many key points have you got? You've used an awful lot.
I have 6.
That would be your last?
I got 1 more to go.
No, that would be your last by my count.
No. I did 2 at the start of the round. Then I did 1.
You spent 2 key points on Fist of Unbroken Air.
Yes. Then 1 for the
Disengage.
Then
Otherwise, so it'd be 5. So this will. So you do have 2 more. Sorry, my bad.
So that was a miss, and
Yes.
that's the end.
It is. You got 1 more key point left, yeah?
Yes.
Cool. But you were down to 6 in this room. So Skathis, that is your turn. I believe Zedurel, it is now your turn. You have about half a dozen between you and your group.
I'm going to start swinging at the nearest one.
Swing away.
The first one is 20.
That hits.
7
Another one
damage.
smushed.
And the second one is probably going to miss.
No,
14
that'll hit.
with a 9.
And that'll also kill another. So you're down to about 4 in between you and the rest of the group.
Yeah.
They don't seem to be worried by you at all, now that you're close enough to them. Karnos, back to the top of the round with you. There's not many left.
Did you make your enemy attacks this round?
They are not going to attack.
Oh, okay. So I'm down on the...
They seem to be just stationary. They're not attacking, they're not moving.
Okay.
They're not really doing a whole lot at this point.
I'm down on the cart, and what am I seeing in front of me?
As you look up behind you, you notice that the ones that were down below with you have also just they're there, but they're not making any aggressive moves. There's maybe a dozen or so down with you, not making any aggressive attacks or movements at this point.
Okay. I'm just going to scan the area. Since they're not making any aggressive moves, I'm going to scan the area and see if I can see any more of these Druid-type creatures.
Perception check.
Percepticon, that will be D4. Oh, it's a natural 20.
Natural 20. As
Yeah,
you
the
sort of take the time to scan your surroundings, you do notice that obviously these creatures are not doing anything, but you do not see any other druids. You do spy Adrian back in the tree line, sort of looking on to see what's sort of happening, as he's obviously heard a ruckus, and he doesn't look like he's seen you.
Okay.
From your position, you sort of leaned out and you sort of see him just in the trees.
All right, and I'll call out to my team. it's looking pretty good down here. Most of them have stopped. No more druids. And then, how many barrels are on this cart?
3.
3. And they're roped to it?
Yeah.
I'm going to hack the barrels off the cart and let them roll over to the trees that are around for fun.
Okay. So you strike the roping that's holding the barrels on, and you let the tailgate down, and they all roll off. And unfortunately for you, the plan doesn't go exactly how you planned it, because it's an incline leading out of the loading bay, so they all sort of roll into each other and sort of sit on the ground next to the cart.
Right. Oh, in my head that went way better.
Nice try, though.
I'll leave it at that.
Adok the Grey, it is now your turn.
Okay, so with that, I've seen the barrels move. It's not really much he would do. Is anyone looking particularly? Can I see anyone looking particularly hurt at this standpoint?
You've seen Skathis has taken a bit of a beating, but he's not looking too bad. Roll a medicine check.
Fantastic. 10.
Yeah, everyone's looking okay-ish. A lot of people have taken a few shots, but not looking too shabby.
That's right. Wouldn't really do much besides. The only thing I can do is fire. I would just take another blowgun shot at the nearest thing.
Yeah, and you notice as well, they don't appear to be advancing, but they're still there, and they're still making the horrible sort of scratching noises. They just don't seem to be moving at this point.
It would definitely still going to take a shot at one of them.
Go for it.
With a 14 to hit.
That'll hit.
4 damage.
That'll kill another one.
Fantastic.
It skitters and splatters, sort of scratches across the surface. Next up would be Emilia again.
Is there anything close to me?
No, the closest is probably 15 feet.
No.
Not many left.
I'll go and try my luck, I guess. Quarter stuff.
No worries. Emilia, for the first time, well, not the first time, but it's the first time you've seen her run in for a melee attack. She sort of walks up to the nearest creature and attacks with an 8 and misses.
And then she's going to run back again.
And she runs back. So, with that, next up, I believe, was Fibblestead once again.
I'm going to start and jump on my bike and ride off. Yeah, I'm just going to shoot. I'm going to look at my hand and twitch. It's like, like a firebolt starts, and then go, oh, no. Rifle. And take another shot at another group of those things.
No worries. So, fire away.
9
miss
to
with a
hit.
9. Hit the floor just next to one of them, spraying wood as the round strikes the floor.
Yeah, that's dreadful. I'm gonna move around to the staircase. I'm gonna start to go down the stairs because I want to go where that druid was to check out his staff.
Okay, so you're gonna head back down the hallway and back down the spiral staircase?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was actually in that room.
Oh, yeah, the loading bay room is.
Yeah.
There's a hallway leading to a spiral staircase which takes you back down to the loading bay. In the vat room, there's stairs that leads to a balcony, but there's no stairs leading downwards to the main floor. You'd have to go back down the spiral staircase.
Yeah, no, I just go down that spiral staircase because it's going to take me a couple of turns to get there anyway. I'm only 25 feet.
Yep. So you'll head in that direction. You manage to skirt around these tree creatures as they don't seem to be doing anything. They don't attack you as you move past. Now it is Skathis once again.
Attacking with unarmed strike.
To expedite this a little bit, Skathis, there's only maybe 4 or 5 left. You guys would clean these guys up pretty easily. Again, as well as Adriel being where you are, they don't seem to be aggressive anymore now that these 2 druids have been dispatched. So you clean them up pretty quickly. That will end our initiative there. And we should probably take a short break, even though we're almost finished. You want to take a break or you want to carry on for the half hour or so before we finish? Up to you guys.
Yeah, alright. We'll
Keep
do
going?
that.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So, with that, you dispatch the remainder of these creatures. Fibblesib, you do make it down to meet up with Karnos down below and to inspect the staff. As you pick it up, again, it looks pretty much like it's been cut from a tree. It looks like a branch. Had some working. Nothing major. Enough to make it sort of unable to be held, but that's about it. It is a very dark wood, almost black. Do you guys eventually come together as a group again?
Yeah, I'll convene with Mr. Stubb and put my crossbow away and just hold my axe at the ready, protecting him.
It does not appear to be any more of these creatures around. You've managed to defeat what has come at you. And at this point, you seem relatively okay.
That hole that I covered, are there still creatures there at the hole?
So Karnos would have taken care of those from his side.
Fantastic. I would just drop the web concentration.
No worries.
Look, guys, I found this stuff of his, and this dark energy came out of this crack. Does anyone have knowledge on that?
I mean, I could, like, me and Mrs. Steve could definitely have a look at that one if you want.
I hand it to
Hey,
Adok.
are you able to identify?
I mean, like, I can. It takes a bit of a while. So I've got a pearl or an air.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'd need to take, 10-ish minutes to cast it, because I think we need to identify these. I've got the feeling these are what they use to control those little sticky thingies.
Sticky thingies.
Well,
Hey,
I mean,
I killed one first, so it's a
I was
sticky
about to
thingy.
say, you get to name it. You get to name it. You killed the first one, right? So, sticky thingy it is.
Really?
Indeed.
Okay, so sticky things, but yeah, I need a pearl of like 100 gold pieces worth in an hour feather.
Really?
I could do it. Yeah, I mean, I could do it to identify it, but I need that to do it with.
Okay. Wow. Owl feather? Really? You need a pearl? I just use
Yeah, like.
gold.
No, it's got it. Like, I've got to channel it through the alchemical sort of process to identify. The pearls are very good at attracting magical energy and then transferring that, similar to how a gypsy woman would use a globe to spy on things. Similar, that's how power works. And the owl feather contains the knowledge, because owls, wisdom, so they've seen a lot. You understand?
Where are we going to find a pearl necklace around here? Hmm?
Carlos, have you got a pearl necklace, Andy?
Do I look like my name is Het? No, I don't have a pearl necklace handy. Why would I be carrying around a pearl necklace? That makes
I
no
don't know.
sense.
Maybe it's a Mrs. Karnos somewhere.
I've never, no, not at this stage in my life. I feel like I am too young to take on the ball and chain.
Skathis, you able to give us a pearl necklace?
Cocks my head. Really?
Look, do you want this identified or not? What
I think we need to start rummaging through my pack. Go no. Oh, feather. No, not owl. Maybe next time. Take them. I think these are what they use. This is a stick of control or staff of control. Staff of control is sticky thingies.
Just looks like a bit of wood to me.
Yes, to the untrained eye, it would look like a bit of wood, but magic, voodoo.
We can still take them with us in our pack, and maybe they'll deter us if whatever we see down the hall.
I mean, I'll have
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Mr.
Yes.
Siboneye is pretty good at the magics, so maybe we should hold on to the two, like one each.
They are pretty big though.
Maybe we
Yeah.
shouldn't hold on to the two of them.
I think Sadriel and maybe. Oh no. Oh no, she's already got her own stick. I don't know. Emilia could have one more, and then Scathus could have the other one because he seems to need a bit of assistance to hit stuff.
I will say, everybody, assuming we're all together, the tactics inside the building worked very well, and everyone worked as a heroic team, and I applaud you for that. Well done.
Thank you, Colonels. This
Yes,
is pretty good in my pack, Doc. That was kind of fun.
Can I go back in there now?
I guess, if you
Yeah,
want.
great. And I climb up, scramble up.
And I pat him and cast heroism on his back.
The next
As you
minute,
do, I'm
you're
like-
brave as hell.
And as you do, I'm sitting there going, once more into the breach, dear friends, once more.
Well, they did say there was maybe 5 of these wizardy, druidy type people, did they not, Mr. Stib?
Wow, if we go by that count, there's 3 left.
Yeah, so I'm
So
picking. Assuming they were correct and the others are still here, right?
Zadra would like to look through the bodies to see if there's any notes or anything on them.
Roll investigation. So you look, there's no bodies of these tree creatures. Are they all pretty much just disintegrated into like twigs and leaves and basically a manner of natural stuff? But the 2 bodies of the druids you can definitely search.
11.
I'll help.
You can all roll investigation if you want to. If you're going to help look.
Having cast heroism on Adok, Adok's going to be just bellow out and go, alright, you rest of the druids, you hear what happened to you two? We smashed them, we smashed all you creatures, we'll take you all, come on.
My
You
ear.
know where we are.
It's right here, Adok. My ear's right here.
Karnos joins in, he raises his axe to the sky, double-handed, he goes, yeah, Adok's right. Come on, you bloody weaklings, we'll take you down. Me and Adok against the world, that's right.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You're right,
So-
we're the fearsome 6, yeah?
Yeah,
Right.
the fearful 6.
yeah, so 24 on investigation for the druid that I was closest to.
Okay, so we got a 19 and 20 collective say. So searching both the druids, you go through them. You don't find any parchment or paperwork or anything like that. You do find about 90 gold pieces between the 2 of them. One of them does have basic leather armor on, and the other's just wearing. They're both wearing pretty crappy looking robes, and they're pretty smelly. So they've definitely been out in nature for a while. One of them does, however, have a large gem in a pouch under his robes, the one that was upstairs with you, Zadriel. It is almost the shape of a seed, a dark red color.
Keep it and go back to them and say, this might be the gem that they were needing to talk about
Wait
for
a
the...
minute. Didn't
the
the other one
plants.
have like a flask or something?
He did. I was getting to that. The flask that he had was empty, but he does have a flask on him.
Adok's
Yes.
again going to bellow out and go, yeah, we've got your gem now.
Shut
Now
up, Adok.
we've got it.
Because this one was muttering about gem. This one was muttering about the flask thingy. So maybe the other 3 have something.
Didn't he say something about his vampire wand? Wand of the vampire...
Oh
something.
yeah, the staff of the vampire.
Does that maybe mean that they were given to them by our friend Strahd, or is there actually a staff with vampire power?
Or maybe
Oh.
they're just gone fucking mad.
Roll a history check to see if you can remember what the druid said as he jumped down the loading bay.
26.
Fibble remembers. Carnos remembers. Pretty much everyone remembers looking at that. Holy Jesus. God, even Skathis remembers. Nature bows to my every whim, for I have the vampire's staff.
Yes.
And the one thing you do notice about these two staves is they are identical. Identical wood, not so much identical size, but identical wood, have the same smell, the same sort of makeup. The only difference between yours and the one that Fibblestib has, Zadriel, is yours has a small crack in it that had sort of leaked some of that dark sap, but also you saw it release a dark energy at the same time. Just briefly.
You might be
Emilia?
right, Carnos.
Emily's going to ask if she can see the staff. See one of the staffs. I don't know who's got them.
Zadriel and Fibble have one each.
I would have given my one to Emilia. As I said, Emilia and Skathis should have them because Skathis can't hit shit.
I was gonna say the skate is gonna. Oh, give me. I've got no idea. Give it here.
So Emilia, you have Fibble has given you his staff, the staff. Are you wanting to inspect it?
Emilia's going to hold the staff over her head and call out in Druid. Now I've got the vampire staff on the champion of nature. In Druid.
Nice.
Well, shit. Now she's gone mad.
What are you mumbling?
So Emilia, now that you're holding this staff,
Oh.
the first thing you notice is just the energy that you feel from it. Being that of nature magic, you feel a very strong bonding to this staff. Just the aura that it gives off is very strong in nature. Can I get you to roll a nature check, please? With advantage, by the way. Not that you need it with a natural 20.
Yeah, I'll go with the 23 thanks.
As you're holding the staff, a vision comes to you. And all you can see in your mind's eye is destruction. And all you can feel within your core is, I need to break this staff. I need to do it now.
Emily is going to take it in both hands, like above her head. She had it above her head.
Yep.
And she's going to bring it down as hard as she can across her knee.
Roll a strength check for me.
Strength, where are you? I can't even see it.
Skathis, give me back my crowbar.
Eight.
I think it's up there with the first barrel.
As you bring it down across your knee, it cracks loudly. Doesn't break, but it cracks and opens up a fissure within the center of this branch, and this black sap-like substance starts to ooze from it. And all of you standing around, as you would have heard this crack as Emilia brings the staff down across her knee, and you would all notice this dark energy, this sort of dark wispy smoke released from the staff almost immediately from this crack. It's very visible and it smells really bad, really, really pungent. And all of a sudden, all of you get an absolute sense of, almost a sense of dread sort of come over you. It's a sudden wave of it, and then it dissipates.
Far out. Emilia, did that come from your... And he points at the stickers. Did that come from your crack?
It smells awful.
She
Terrible.
looks around at
Terrible.
She looks around at Skathis.
God, someone clip that, please.
she looks around at Skathis or whoever's holding the other staff and says, "Give me that." And if they do, she's going to attempt to do the same thing.
You can attempt to do the same thing with the one you've got again.
Okay,
Because
that
compulsion's still there.
Yeah, she's going to try and finish off the staff that she's holding.
Make another strength check for me.
Hang on, wait. Last time we tried to break something, oh dear, it exploded.
Again, she brings the staff up above her head and straight down onto her knee once again. And at this time, who has the highest passive perception? I think Emilia and Skathis.
I think so.
So Emilia and like Skathis, you're probably there as well. You both hear it first, just that rustling of leaves and twigs once again. And Emilia, you probably spot as you bring this branch above your head, ready to bring it down. You can see what looks to be dozens upon dozens of these creatures coming towards you as you're all standing in the loading bay, looking out. Emilia's eyes would probably almost immediately widen as she sees this. Skathis, you would definitely see it as well. And I would imagine you would definitely alert your group as to what is coming. And you all turn and look, and maybe 50, 60 feet from you is just almost like a sea of these creatures. Too many to count. Emilia then, as she brings the staff down across her knee for the second time, that audible crack rings out in your ears within close proximity, and it snaps in two. And that same wave of dark energy is released and is almost hits you guys in the back of your throat, like inhaling smoke from a campfire inadvertently. Just catches in your back of your throat. And as the moment that she snaps out, all you see is just a wave of energy shoot through these creatures, and they all just start to almost dissipate into ash immediately, one by one, right through us, and eventually within seconds the whole road now is just covered in a light sort of misty style ash, and then it starts to dissipate slowly and disappear.
And with seeing that, I'm assuming I got the other stuff, seeing it
do,
was given to me.
Certainly do.
I hold it above my head and smash it down onto the ground.
Drink check, please.
Yeah, it bounced back and hit me in the face.
No, you smash it down onto the ground, but you know what happens when you smash a cricket bat into the concrete or a baseball bat into concrete? That shock runs right up your arms into your shoulders. And you take 2 points of force damage as it just rips through your muscles and wrists. But it does not even, and this one was already cracked, and it didn't crack any further.
I do believe Miss Emilia is stronger than you, Skathis.
Zedriel, use your hammer on it.
I don't want to. I want to keep it.
If you don't, I will.
I'm not going to do it.
She's going to walk over to Skathis and take the staff and attempt to snap it over her knee again.
Zedriel, you going to do anything?
I don't want you to do it. We could. They weren't attacking us. What if there's something about it that can deter downstairs?
Remember, they said it was Strahd's or the vampire staff. It's a gift to them from him to fight us. I don't think anything about it is natural, Zedriel.
I think we can use it to our advantage, maybe.
I also think that we could do that as well.
We can always destroy them after we've got all of them.
Zedriel, make a persuasion check for me with advantage, as you have two other people, or two other people, Ibblesib and Adok, seem to be agreeing with you.
14? I have
Emilia, your bless would still be up, I believe. No, it would not. Bless would not still be up. If you have a luck, probably now's the time to use it. But Emilia, I will need you to roll a d20, please.
18.
And add your intelligence modifier.
Nat 1.
Natural 1. Zadriel has a very compelling reasoning in this. You've broken one that seems to have killed pretty much all of these tree creatures that were outside. And there was a lot of them. So you more than likely, probably not happily, but you do not break it, and you would probably would hand it over to Zadriel.
She takes it, puts one end in the ground in front of Zadriel, and basically moves it over like a lever in her direction. She's obviously not happy about it, but...
It's okay, Emilia. I'll let you break it when we're done.
Can I have it?
We can have a bonfire later.
Right, so do we need to maybe search out the rest of this building and make sure we are complete here?
We need to go back up because there was that hallway that went to another door.
Yeah, agreed.
Which we didn't get to explore because of that other dude that was upstairs. Maybe there's another dude we can kill.
That's what I'm hoping.
Dudes everywhere.
As Emilia gives Zadriel the staff, she's going to walk over to Skathis and use Cure Wounds on him again.
No worries.
Basically, walk up to him, hand on his chest, like right where his heart would be.
Yep.
And... Ooh, 18 heal.
Nice.
Not bad.
Well done.
As soon as Zadriel's got the staff, Adok's just gonna whisper in it and be like, "Can I hold it? Can I have it? Can I just touch it? I just want to have it, please. Let me. Yes." He's gonna grab it.
What? Are you just wanting to hold it?
Yeah, I want to hold it, but I'd actually like to
Make a
use
wisdom
an Arcana
save,
check.
please.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. There's no wisdom save.
Oh, I've made it 10 anyway.
So you
Yeah, I'd
want
like to inspect
you just
it
want to
and
inspect it?
try and see
Roll
if
Arcana. Are you proficient in Arcana?
I certainly am.
Roll away, sir. 10. It's definitely a staff. It's been. You can see it's been worked so someone can hold it like a staff, but it is also very much naturistic in shape with the way that you can see it's definitely a branch from a tree. It's been cut from a tree so at some point. Apart from that, you really can't tell. You know it's definitely got some magical nature. Obviously, it's been used in that way. And then obviously seeing what happened with the other staff once Emilia broke it, there's something dark about it too.
Adok is gonna, after inspecting it, is gonna get pissed off and he's gonna huff. And it's gonna be like, Fibble! He's gonna point it out and be like, "Here, you take it. I don't know what it is."
I don't want it.
Right, fine, I'll have it.
So, you are now still standing in the loading bay of the Wizards of Wine winery.
Nah, Carlos headed back in the door.
You head back in the door?
Yep, as soon as Bibble said, "Yep, there's more to go," Carlos headed through the door.
Okay, so Karnos is headed back up the spiral staircase. And eventually I'd imagine the rest of you follow. And you were wanting to inspect the hallway and the other door, Mr. Fibblestep.
Yep, that's where we'll be going.
So, can I have a quick marching order again, please? Obviously, Karnos out in front, as he has led the way.
Zadriel and Adok.
Zadriel, Adok, maybe Fibble, Skathis, Emilia.
I'll bring up the rear this time.
Okay, Skathis at the rear.
That's good.
So, you move your way back up to the top of the loading dock area, the hoist, and you make your way down that small corridor through the door that Fibble had first looked into. Yes, Mr. Adok.
I was gonna say, as we're walking, would I cheekily be able to ritual cast Detect Magic?
10-minute cast?
Yeah, because I'm in Zadriel's back.
Yeah.
Pack, and,
Yeah.
yeah, fantastic.
I'd say so. What's the components required for it? Is there any?
Verbal and somatic, just
Right,
ritual.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yep, you can sit there. Zedriel, you hear Adok sort of muttering away to himself. Some of the arcane words you'd understand, as you have an understanding of the arcane as well. Your magic is more divine, obviously, but you do have some understanding of it. So you would understand some of the words and that, but he's kind of just muttering his way to himself in your backpack. You do make it into the next area of the winery. This room, do I have this room? My list of things here. Yes, I do. So is it going to let me do it? Here we go. So this room here is what you see. The one on the right is what you see. It is a kitchen area. So you've come through this door and walked into a kitchen area of the winery itself. This room contains a rectangular table surrounded by 8 chairs, L-shaped cupboard and floor-to-ceiling closet pantry. Next to the pantry is a small iron stove. A few plates lying around, some with sort of food remnants on it, but it looks like it hasn't been used in probably maybe a week or so. There's a little bit of dust and stuff around. Some of the food that is there is starting to go mouldy, the one that's left out. But there is another door leading off to your immediate right as you enter the room and to your left.
Right or left?
Right.
Right. Right, we go then.
All right then.
Would you like me to peek open the door, Mr. Stubb?
We're going right. So, yeah, stick your head through the door.
Alright. Carlos just opens the door and pokes his face through. Well, not face through, like, carefully checking.
No problem. So you are now in this room. As you move into this here, this room looks like it's a master bedroom of sort, and you could only imagine maybe this might be Devian's room, as he's the master of this winery. This room contains a 4-poster bed. Its headboard is carved in the likeness of a giant raven. A soft black rug covers the floor between the bed and the door. In the corners on the south wall stand 2 slender wardrobes and a tapestry of a church hanging on the wall between them. Beneath the tapestry sits a handsomely carved rocking cradle. To the north, under a window, is a plain desk and chair. Other furnishings include a wooden chest and a freestanding mirror and a wooden frame.
Carlos got into the room first and head towards the mirror to allow people to come through the door. It's just stand and wait.
Problem. So, what are we doing, people?
I'm going to look at the desk for any paperwork, blueprints, anything like that.
No problem.
More information.
So you're gonna search the whole room or just the desk?
I'll look around the room, but focus on the desk.
Okay. Anyone else aiding Zedriel in the search of this room?
I'll aid.
Adok is still ritual casting.
No worries. So, investigation with advantage, please.
19.
So, as you search around, you do, focusing on the desk at first, you do see a ledger of sorts and a couple of few bits and pieces there. You find a bit of a manifest, and as you're reading through it, you notice recent records that reveals almost all the shipments of the winery. Is one states BV, which roll history, Zedriel. See if you remember what BV stands for, what BV could possibly stand for.
11?
Yeah, Blood of the Vine Tavern, which was the tavern you first met first went into Barovia when you first arrived here. BW is listed in there as well, which you could probably assume would be the Blue Water Inn. Next one is a K. You've heard, looking on your map, if you were to use the correlation, there is a township or an area within Barovia called Kresk as well, which could correlate with the K. And at the bottom entry, or one of the bottom ones there, in capital letters, is Vistani. Do you continue going through some of these records? Because they do go back quite a little. They go back a little way.
I'm looking for anything that stands out as odd.
Okay, so you go back through some of the older of the records, and you find entries for simply an S.
Oh. All it says is S. It doesn't say.
Yep. Or this it looks like a letter code. So you've got BV, BW, K, full word of Vistani, and then S as delivery options or deliveries of the wine from the winery.
And they have stopped. They're not recent.
The most recent ones are BV and BW and K. There is some that go back a little further with the Vistani, but the older of them is as S. There's nothing recent.
And looking at the map, the only S I could find would be probably Strahd, maybe, or are there any other towns?
Roll intelligence.
Nope.
Not sure. I mean, you definitely can assume that it may correlate to Strahd, but there's no towns on the map that start with an S that you can see.
Is that all that I did the manifest? I will.
Yeah, that was
show
pretty much
the
it.
others and point to the things and.
So you continue to search the room. Who wants to head the investigation for the searching of the rest of the room?
Ah, Will.
Anyone aiding Fibblestub in the search?
I'll help him.
So with advantage, please. 19 again. Nice. So Fibblestub, you notice there's a chest in the corner of this room. As you're passing the bed, however, you sort of knock one of the bedposts as you walk past. And your ears are well versed in secret compartments and such, and you know that is a hollow sound you just heard. That bedpost is not solid.
Investigate further on the bedpost.
So as you stop for a moment, you're making a beeline for the chest, because obviously people keep cool shit in chests. But you knock into this bedpost, you turn, you start sort of feeling around the bedpost, and you notice that the knob of the bedpost is loose, and it looks like it can be removed.
Slowly take it off.
As you work it sort of kind of squeaks a little bit, wood on wood, and you do remove it without any hassle. And there's a compartment inside.
What do I see? What's in the compartment?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Oh, is it? What's in the leg?
It holds a golden locket, which is sort of sitting on top of a piece of parchment by the looks of it. As you sort of move your fingers around, you pull out this rolled piece of parchment with the locket sort of attached on the top. And at the bottom of it is a pouch that looks like it's been dropped down inside it. So you pull all these things out. The portrait, as you unfurl this parchment, is a portrait of a woman, rather attractive woman, maybe in her 30s, kind of hard to tell, human woman. As well as this small pouch, sort of give it a bit of a shake, and it's got gemstones in it. As you open it, you can inside you find a couple of small rubies, 2 black pearls, and a small diamond.
Yeah, I'm gonna just pocket all of that.
But that is all you find in bedpost.
The portrait, does the lady look familiar?
No, she does not.
I'm gonna show the portrait to everyone and go, why would they hide a portrait of someone in a bedstand?
Maybe it is a lost secret lover. That would be interesting.
Can I ask everyone a question?
You just did.
Yeah, okay. Another one on top of that, on top of this one.
Uh-huh.
Right, so we met them outside, the man, his wife, and their son, right?
It was just a man, his son, and his son's wife. And
So, yeah.
there's 2 sons and the son's wife and a baby.
Son's wife. So where was his wife? Did he say?
How old did he look?
He was in his probably mid-60s.
Adrian is still outside. Maybe we will ask him when we are done.
Just, yeah, if he's got a picture saved in there, it seems a bit odd. And there's a baby's crib in this room, so I would assume that this is the family room with the baby, so it's the younger people's room, right?
Yeah, most likely.
So why would the younger people have that stashed in their bedposts?
So just to
Maybe
give you guys
they
a
don't know.
little bit of context here, this is what Divine Martikov looks like.
Oh, Jesus, if I'd have seen that.
Good God.
I forgot
killed him instead of him.
I forgot to show you that before.
Damn it, he would have been dead by now.
And maybe it was a good reason I didn't show you.
This picture look old, antique-ish, or...
Roll intelligence check, I would say.
Oh, God. Nope. 9.
It's not new, but you're not sure if it's like old, but it's definitely not new, and you can tell it's not new.
Interesting. Maybe we should ask about if they know about it when we go out. We can hang on a second, and kind of swings his axe on the side of the bedpost and like knocks it off and says, "There." And then he kicks over the chair and goes, "Now we've had a bit of a battle in here.
Nice,
Some of the
well done.
creatures were in here."
Yes.
And he roughs up the bed and roughs up the mat on the floor.
Should I shoot the bed a couple of times?
Zadriel smashes the desk.
Now
Wow,
we're getting
guys,
into the-
vandalism.
Yeah.
Going to the... While they're doing all this, I'm going to go to the chest.
With that investigation, you would have been able to tell that the chest is locked.
All right. Let's see how this goes this time.
Sleight of hand. Ooh, let's see, what was the DC on that one?
Try. No, we'll go with that one, and I'll burn my inspiration.
Sleight of hand. Oh, okay. So 18.
Yeah.
So it unlocks. It gives up. This lock gives up its secrets, and inside you find a small box, almost like a jewelry box, has a hinged lid on it. You open it up. There is 490 gold pieces in this box.
Carlos?
Yes, I can take that into my...
And each
satchel.
coin has the stamp of Strahd von Zarovich on it, as most coins tend to do in this realm. There is 100 silver pieces also in there. Make a perception roll as well, Philsip, now that you're looking in there.
I've added those coins to party funds, guys.
21. Did you add the 90 from before too?
No, I did not. I can add that as well.
So yeah, 21 on perception.
Perception. You find another small pouch with a couple of larger gemstones. This time a larger diamond and a larger ruby.
Alright, so I got a small diamond and a large diamond?
Yes. 2 small rubies, 2 black pearls, and 1 large diamond. 1 large ruby, sorry.
Right. Oh no. Yep, cool. Okay. So I'll just throw that one pouch into the other pouch.
Yep.
And
Easily enough done.
Yeah. Then pocket both pouches anyway.
Emilia is going to say, we're here to find out why the brewery's not working, not loot the place. She's going to go stand outside.
Yeah, should we be taking these people's gems, really? I mean, they are still alive. Feeble, I know you can hear me and you are ignoring me, Feeble.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session. Hold that thought. We'll pick this up next week, guys. The moral conundrum of, should we be stealing from innocent people? So, ladies and gentlemen, that is our story for this evening. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, as per usual. An interesting session. A good combat session, and members of the cast, and that will be a milestone for you guys as well. So you will get your next level as you have found this gem, or this gemstone that was mentioned by Divine. You're not entirely sure what it is, but it is definitely something of note.
That puts us up to 7, right? Whoop.
It does indeed. The level 7 and any spells and skills that come along with it. Make sure you do your HP as well. So, ladies and gentlemen of the chat, welcome once again, and thank you so much for hanging out with us for our session this evening. Always good to see everyone, and always good to have you guys hanging out. Mr. Magic, what's up? So, we are going to do our usual. I know people have probably got to head out and head to work, so we'll do it quickly. So we'll start with Emilia tonight. A moment that stands out from tonight's session for you, Miss Emilia.
Your description of the twigs breaking up when Emilia broke the staff.
Oh, nice.
That was really good. I like that.
Well, thank you very much. Anything else? Or is that it for you this evening?
Oh, I've got other stuff, but I'll let everyone else.
Mr. Scathus, a moment from you, please, sir.
Would have to be Adok. And he's climbing on Zadriel's back, and the best part about it was Zadriel misty stepping and watching Adok falling.
Because I was thinking about, I was trying to remember which spell allows you to take someone with you, and I'm pretty sure it's Dimension Door, and there's a Warlock ability that also allows you to take a willing with Thunderstep, which allows you to take a willing person as well. But yeah, Misty Step does not. So that was kind of cool. Zadriel, a moment from you, if you will.
I was going to say the same thing about Adok, but I also like, I still got the accent. I also like the Druid voice. That was really cool. I can't do that voice. So, yeah.
The crazy man voice. I got that down pat, man. Actually, I think I got that from one of Baz's characters in our home game. From memory, something similar.
I also liked Karnos yelling to bring it. He was screaming. I like that. That's it for.
Cool. Adok the Grey.
Yeah, I mean, all round it was a good round. I like again Karnos jumping into the fray, using his battle axes and just cheering on the entire time with all these things coming toward us. I do like how that entire counter was run though. Shout out to the DM. Like I had massive Lord of the Rings vibes. Not that I don't know if that's what you're going for, but when they're in the dungeon of the dwarfs and they're stuck and like orcs and goblins are attacking them and raiding.
Yes, in the dwarf Mines of Moria.
Yeah. That's what was running through my head, and I just thoroughly loved how it was put together. So, thank you.
We can't. I mean, all the encounters in this module, I'm not running as they are in the module. I'm putting my spin on it to make it just a little bit more interesting or something a little different. So it's just not stagnated for those that do know the module, even in the viewers. Because I know most of you guys haven't read the module. Some of you have sort of partially played, like yourself, Cameron. But for those that are viewing it that know something about the module, I'm putting my own spin on just about everything. So it makes it a little different. Anything else, Mr. Ad-Hoc, or is that it for you, sir?
That is it for me at this present point in time.
Yeah. Mr. Fibblestib?
The dirty talk, as per usual, coming up.
I think we got the clip of that. I think someone clipped that too.
Yeah, I was hoping that would have one that wasn't, but oh well, it came out in the end. And yeah, Karnos just jumping down and doing the Superman pose, and it's like, yeah, come on, bring it on.
Very heroic of Mr. Karnos, indeed.
I was actually thinking that, knowing he was going to drop down there and actually break an ankle or something. So
I was hoping for a bad roll. I really was, because then the ropes on the barrels would have broken. He would have had to try and run across the barrels as they rolled off the carriage.
But yeah, so
but that was
a good episode. Enjoyed it.
No worries. And Mr. Karnos, lastly but not leastly.
Just so acrobatics and athletics are my strong points. Not too bad.
I think you did pretty well.
Anyway, I totally agree with Cam that battle felt really intense. You were multi-attacking, multi-defeating. It just felt it was a good way to do a large set of enemies. Yeah. I really like that. But my favourite, and it has to go to the DM again, is your description of the little tree people going across the grease, and you said they were sort of like skating on ice, and I just had that image in my head of these little tree people skating across the grease. I thought that was pretty cool.
I sort of pictured in my head either like doing that, like skating like on ice, and also too the slide run that you do in like Call of Duty, those sort of games. You run, like your enemies are running along and they sort of slide across things, baseball slide, that sort of stuff, random sort of little things.
And Karnos said it in game, but I want to say out of game that we actually worked really good as a team.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
I felt like the whole cast and the characters worked really well together. I was totally surprised when I was like, let's back up, and Phil was like, yeah, I agree, and I was like, really?
I think it comes a time with any group though, like even from a character perspective, the characters themselves realize that working as a team is beneficial. The individual is not always going to win, and a lot of the time the individual is going to get the party killed more so than helping. Really good.
It does seem like that time in the game where they are starting to bond together a bit, so it's cool.
Emilia is still a little bit on the out, but I think that's even then I think it's all starting to come together. No one died, exactly. Emilia was healing once again. She did make an attack and still step back. I think Emilia as a character is probably still unsure of where she is in that sort of realm of things too. So it kind of worked with your character Drax, with the way that she acted in that battle. So kudos to you as well, sir, for your character development. Chat. Did we have any moments in the chat tonight? Cam forgetting the mic was on, playing his recorder. That was kind of funny. I don't know if you forgot whether your mic was on or not, but it was funny indeed.
I forgot I wasn't muted, yeah.
Funky Miller, I was writing a speech for my 7-year-old, so I missed everything but this. Dude, all of the VODs for the entire campaign are on my YouTube, !SR and YT, in the chat. YT for YouTube. We'll give you the details, the link for that. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification. All VODs from my D&D campaigns go on to my YouTube. So when we start the VTM, all that will be going up as well. What else we got here? Oh, yeah, and that damn face smash with the hammer. Oh, yeah. I think that's become canon with Zadriel. Every time Zadriel kills something now, it's either going to be exploded head or a smash face. I think it goes without saying. But well done. Obviously, the whole staff and druid thing, that was kind of cool. Again, my little spin on that as well. But well done, team, for another a great and successful session of our Vampire the Masquerade. We're not there yet. Our horror campaign of Curse of Strahd. I think this is episode 28. So we're over that 6-month mark already. You guys have leveled up to level 7, ready for next session. So next week, guys, next Wednesday night, return here for some more vampire mysteries with the Curse of Strahd. But between then and now, make sure you are visiting Mrs. and Mr. Sadiq, Mrs. Yanti and Mr. Sadiq's channel over on Yanti 1 for Friday night's Icefire Peak campaign, which I am playing in, and also on Sunday night for the Sanctum mini campaign, which is our filler for before we hit the Vampire the Masquerade. So you guys are awesome. Good to see you all here.
And I can watch the Friday night streams.
Yes! You can indeed. Hey, we're all immature here. This is why we love it so much. That's what it is.
Mature? What the hell is that?
Exactly. Magic, you should know better than that. You're an immature elder. We all are. I don't think we're ever going to grow up. I mean, Christ, we're playing D&D.
Baby.
Cam is the baby of the group, 100%. What do you mean? But yes, Magic, if you could confirm or deny your involvement in the Vampire Masquerade through the Discord, and we can move forward with that and start organising some bits and pieces. Also, too, guys, when it does come to the Vampire Masquerade, we will be possibly calling for some extras to play bit parts at some point. So bear in mind, keep it on the Discord, come along to the shows, and if you are interested when we do call for these extra parts, hit me up in the Discord, join my Discord, !Discord in the chat, and you can join via that way, because we may have need of some bit part actors for this particular show. So that would be awesome. We should probably raid, shouldn't we? Let's see who we're going to raid this evening. Does anyone in chat or in the cast have anyone in particular they would like to see us raid tonight, or are we going to pick a random from the D&D section? We got prefer to find English speaking. Oh, Fable 22, that's a rerun, god damn it. Lost Archives. We got 2 viewers running for an hour. Doing Tyranny of Dragons. Interesting. I don't think I know that module. How about we raid these guys? Where I am not following them, so that's someone I have not seen before. They're using Roll20 by the looks of it. Only the DM has a camera, but that is quite okay. Grab that. Alright guys, we are going to take off. Awesome to see you in the chat. Thank you for the follows. We had some Lux given out tonight. So Jovinator, Mad Old Man with the follows. Orbasm with the resub as well. Thank you so much, guys. We will see you on Friday on Yanti's channel. Make sure you go check it out. Drax, you still there? Can you give a shout out? Drop a shout out in the chat for Yanti. And again on Sunday, and we'll see you back here next week. Set that up. Start that. Press that button and say good night.